When are you gonna start talking again?
Fuck, I should have a podcast just about travel ball.
Dude, I remember trying out in high school. I was still not on a travel ball team. Like, for me, I only played at the park.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. And then like, you made the All-Star team. We go play fucking this weekend over here at Cheetah. What is it? Field of Dreams.
Oh,
that was always the thing.
Yeah.
You make the
Wait,
All-Star
Field
team.
of Dreams or Big League Dreams?
I think it was called
was
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
So I remember because they had Wrigley, Fenway.
Yeah.
So I remember every year I would make the All-Star team.
That's Big League.
Oh, that's Big League Dreams.
BLT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Field of Dreams. There actually is a Field of Dreams. Where was it at? And it burned down. Remember?
I do remember.
It just burned down recently.
Yes, because my friend was playing softball there.
Yeah.
And they had like the rule, like, yeah, you can only hit one home run or
Yeah.
some bullshit. But yeah, like that was my thing. I didn't get into a travel ball team until high school, like my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And it was because I was waiting for my dad and the guys were practicing. And they're like, hey, you mind sticking around playing first? I was all right. Fucking diving for balls, this and that. And they're like, hey, are you on a team yet? No? You ask my dad, he's right there. And there it is. But it was never like travel ball, like that was the thing.
What
it
team?
was
Do you remember what team it was?
We were called the Miners.
The Miners.
So before they were the Montebello Brewers.
Oh, yeah.
And then they became the Miners. I think the Brewers are still going on.
Yes. And then
But-
Montebello
The
Mayhem.
Mayhem. That was my other coach who. And that was when I was starting out with them, they didn't have a high school team yet.
Oh,
Or
okay.
like 15, 16, because their coach was like, their son was still like 10 years old.
Okay.
So he wasn't even focused on like getting older. He was just building that one up.
Yeah.
And then, but it was the Brewers. And I think they were brothers, and one brother decided, like, fuck that, I don't have my own team.
From the
Brewers.
Uh-huh.
So then there was the Brewers.
Do you
and the
know where they
Miners.
practice?
The Brewers, I remember they used to practice at Grant Ray. And then, because I remember whenever we would play, I played at Grant Ray.
Yeah.
So whenever our practices were over, the Brewers are all, man,
Mm-hmm.
they would show up and practice. But
Yeah.
I don't know where now. They probably practice out of high school. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But
Interesting.
yeah, those travel ball teams are, it's a crazy scene now, because there's just so many people involved in it,
Oh, yeah.
as opposed to where it was just like, hey, this kid's good, he's gonna be on our team.
Well, you have the. We should probably start recording now. This is a good conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, you can fucking add it as bonus, whatever.
Yeah, this is gonna be the bonus.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the bonus material for you guys,
Mhm.
like towards the end or whatever. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. But anyways, dude, what's up, Chris?
What's up?
Hey, let me do my quick intro. Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Fidel of Talking Again podcast. We're back here again, another edition of the show, of the tap, I should say. Been a long time. It's been a while. As you guys already know, when I record now, I only record when it makes sense for me, right? When I really want to do it. I don't just say yes to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I was like, I had people who were coming on all the time, like, hey, can you interview my client? You know,
Dude, you were probably one of the busiest podcasters that, like, I remember. Like,
yeah, I was.
it
Really,
was like fucking. I felt like you were doing like twice a week or something.
at one point I was.
Yeah,
At
see, I
one point I
remember
was
that.
doing twice a week, and then it went to just once a week because it was a lot
So
of work.
much. Well, you had someone like who like got you some guests, right?
Yes, there was I don't know what they call them, like a PR person,
Yeah.
and they have like clients, and they would give me guests, and they're cool, man. Like, look, don't get me wrong, that's their business, and they need to do it. They need to go out there and
push their clients.
They got to do it. It's you know, that's their
And they
client.
have
That's
to
what they get
justify
paid
their
for.
job.
Exactly.
Like if I'm an artist, I'm like, get me on something. Yeah.
Yeah, I want. Hey, put me out there.
Put me on something.
Because even though like I'm small time podcast over here, local guy. What was it that I used to say? We're local podcasters. We're local podcasters. Even though we're local podcasters, they might.
I used to use that all the time. I would be like, I got it from Fidel. Yeah, I say all the time.
Yeah, I mean, because it is right. We're
Yeah.
local and it's funny how some of us think that that we're like big time because we get pretty good amount of views, and we think
Yeah.
we're big time. It's like you're not even close, man.
At my heyday, I still was like, dude, we're just fucking around here.
That's all it is.
Bullshit.
That's all it is.
Like we're drinking here, we're bullshitting.
Yeah.
Like I never took it that serious
Mhm.
ever. Which
Yeah.
I mean, some people might be like, you could,
Some people get offended
yeah.
because we don't take it serious. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how come you don't? Fidel, how come you don't promote your show as much, and why don't you take it more serious?
Why don't
And I
you
go,
post more? Why don't you do this
Yeah.
more? Why don't you like
well,
get out there more?
this is a hobby of mine. I started it as a hobby,
Yeah.
and it like, how can I promote or help my community out? And then it turned
Mhm.
into how can I now just have good conversations with friends and family or or people that I just meet, down the street.
You'd have your kids on. I remember.
I've had.
Those are always cool interviews.
Vincent on. Yeah.
I remember those.
Now he's too cool. He doesn't want to record. He's almost 15.
But I feel like kids his age now are like, they podcast now, right? Like there's kids.
Well, there's some, yeah, but then there's still some of those that are like, nah, that's not cool, Dad.
Like
they might do it on their own.
Yeah.
He might want to. Hey, Dad, can I use your equipment? I want to talk with my buddies. Which would be cool, dude. I would love that.
Like,
yeah.
I'll set it up for you.
I'll set it up for you, dude, for sure. You know who's gonna do that though? I think it's my youngest.
Oh yeah.
Diego is the one that's like, he actually. I have some clips of him with the headphones and talking, and he's like pretending he's talking to his cousins, and he's having like a little interview with his cousins, and I'm like,
maybe that's how it starts. You never know.
Yeah. Who knows?
It boggles my mind how some people can have. Like, when there's no mic or anything, they have great conversations.
Yeah.
But because they're not podcasters or whatever, like, you put a mic in front of them, they're like...
They get all nervous.
That's my dad. My dad, like, if you ask any of my friends, he is probably, like, one of the best storytellers. And I feel like that's why I'm pretty good at storytelling, because of my dad.
Yeah.
And, like, even my friends are like, dude, your dad should have been, like, a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember listening to some
just the way he talks or whatever. And then, like, you put a mic in front of him, and he's like, I'm like, what happened? Like, you're just, like, you just can't.
Yeah.
But when we're around people, like, no mics, no nothing, like, people are just, he's the attention of the whole room. Like, he's the life of the party. And that's why some people are like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why are you just sitting there all quiet? I'm like, I grew up my whole life listening to him. Like, I was never the one with the attention.
Yeah.
I remember, I had an ex who was like, have you ever wondered why you do a podcast? And I was like, no. She's like, well, after me and your family, like, I think it's because you always just sit there quiet and, like, you never get to talk because everyone else is, like, telling their stories and you never get to say yours. Yeah. And I just sat there and I was like, damn, I think you're right.
That makes sense.
I was like, that was pretty deep. I was like, I'm just trying to get my side of the story out. And I was like, damn. I was like, that was so deep. I was like,
you still don't really talk too personal about yourself. I mean,
I don't. I try to keep
do tell some stories, right?
Yeah,
but you don't get that personal.
I don't, unless people ask. I just keep it like if there's a story, like something that happened to me, I'll say it.
Yeah.
But I don't get like deep into like my personal life or whatever, like all that stuff. And but if people ask,
a lot of it is present time, right? You don't go back too much and tell stories unless they ask or you think of like something cool.
Yeah. So that was the whole point of the podcast. It was just like what was going on in our lives right then and there.
That's a good point. Look, I know I kind of introduced you, but I didn't. This is Chris Gonzalez of the Kickback Podcast LA.
Yep.
Which hasn't been around in fucking, I don't know, has it been a year
already? It's been a year.
Oh man, what's wrong?
Dang.
You can't blame COVID.
Not anymore, right? So it was I would say, like, whenever people ask, like, oh, did you guys get in a fight? No, like, we still bullshit in the garage. Like, we just did that the other day for the Dodger game.
Yeah.
It was just I got busy with coaching. Like, I took it really serious, like way more serious than I ever thought I was gonna be. Like, and I know some people are like, it's girls basketball. I'm like, no, like, I take this very, like, super serious. Yeah. Like, these girls are, like, they're trying to make a college team. Yeah. They're getting recruited. They're getting looked at. Like, so I'm trying my best.
High school, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying my best to, like, get them to that next level. So I took it serious. Like, I would have practices, like right now, like, I had 5:30 to 7:30. And usually our podcast would be, like, around that time. Yeah. And then Jesse was back in school. Like, he was, full time going back to school. Abe was like, he had just started teaching. Like, he was like full in swing of teaching. Louis, his brother has, his special needs, and he had just had surgery, and Louis had to stay home a lot because, like, everyone's working. Like, someone has to be with him all the time. So, like, everyone was kind of like doing their thing. I was like, I'm not gonna press it much. Like, I know I'm back, I'm ready to do it, but I was like, I'm not gonna press it too much because, like, the moment I tried, I was like, damn it, I'm back in coaching mode, and like, we gotta do this and that, and so it just, like, we just stopped. But I know if I tell them, like, hey, let's do it again, all right, let's go. They'll do it. Like, when I told them, because they were talking about the Dodger game, I was like, I have practice, and then after practice, I'm gonna go do a podcast, and they were all like, oh, are we coming back? Are we coming back? And I was like, well, for right now, I'm just doing one. I was like, but the only way I come back doing podcasts is if they come back with me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that was it.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't do solo.
yeah.
I mean, I could.
No, you could. I think you have.
I could do it.
Yeah.
But I would rather much want to do it with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's just fun.
Of course. I mean, it wouldn't be the kickback without that.
Yeah, like I'm just sitting there.
Kickback with Chris.
Yeah, those were cool interviews. Like I remember interviewing like comedians or like UFC fighters and like Stitch Duran and all those. Like those were fun.
Yeah.
But I would like, because then I have to worry about like booking a guest. Like you're like, and then like booking a guest from like, now I gotta like dig into this person's life.
Yeah,
like I'm not really interested in that person.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of work.
It is. And that's why I never wanted to dive headfirst into it. Because I knew if I did, now I'm like, I remember there was one time, it was like, just because I was thinking about Dodgers, they just finished playing.
Yeah. Shout out to the Dodgers. They just won the NLDS.
So it was before Walker Buehler. It was the year he like got called up. It was like right before.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, let me hit this guy up, see what happens. Hit him up. Thinking like, literally like an hour later, I look at my phone and it says Walker Buehler message, and I'm like, oh my god! And this is before nobody knows who Walker Buehler is,
right? Yeah.
Because I asked him, hey, can you be on my podcast? And I thought I was gonna get a no or nothing, and he did say no, but he was like, hey man, I would have loved to do your podcast, but I'm supposed to get this approved by our PR person, and this is their information, their email, and number, like. You know, if they give me the green light, I'm down.
That's cool.
I reached out to them, they never fucking replied.
Yeah, of course.
I even told him, I was like, I already talked to Walker Buehler. He said he loves to do it, he wants to do it, and I was like, damn. Yeah. That was my one shot. I was like, fuck, I would have been interviewing Walker Buehler.
Damn politics, man.
And then I was in my head, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to interview him, and that means I'm gonna ask the next guy, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the fucking Dodger guy, and then
they're gonna be the Dodgers podcast.
And then nothing. I was like, damn it.
It sucks that it works out like that. It doesn't work out because of that. But there has been like guests that you've gotten, like for example, Stitch Duran.
Yeah.
You even got, like, I still follow him to this day because of you. I never even knew about this comedian Mark Rivera.
Oh yeah.
Fool's fucking funny, dude.
Dude, he was hilarious. I remember I love him so much because I remember, so my family, we had a tough... Because
you relate to him, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. We had like a tough time where like a couple of our family members passed away, and like our house was just down. And I remember like my mom was in a like shitty spot and like just like in a bad place, and I remember I was like, I'm gonna put his special on and see if like I hadn't seen my mom laugh this hard in a long time. So as soon as like that happened, I was like, I'm gonna ask him to be on. I never told him. I totally forgot to tell him because we were having such a good conversation. Yeah. And then I didn't want to fucking like just start crying in front of him, like, you know, you have my mom. But like I didn't want. But I remember just seeing my mom like finally smiling and laughing, and I was like, dude, I gotta have this guy on. Like I gotta talk to him. And luckily it was a good interview. Like we were laughing, and then he ended up, you know, thinking of some bits like on that podcast, and like so it was a fun interview.
Nice. It would have been a really cool special moment if you.
I know, and then dude, you know, it's one of those moments where like as soon as you stop recording, I was like, oh, I forgot to tell him how I was like, damn it. Yeah. And then I was like, I can't go and message him now. Like, let's just.
Have you stayed in contact at all, or it was just
every now and then? Like, I'll like some stuff, and he'll like we'll like talk back and forth.
Oh, okay.
But nothing like daily, or it's like maybe once every other month or something. Yeah.
You should try to do like a comeback with like, you know, like a reunite with them and try to see if you can get him on.
Do another episode.
I'm sure that guy's traveling now a little bit more, right? I mean,
I think he's on tour. I think the last post I saw, or he just finished a tour, or he's on a tour.
All right. That's the trick is to find out when he's in California and be like, hey, dude, come out and
I'll
come in the studio, or I'll go to you.
Yeah, that was always my thing. Is I was like, dude, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Like wherever the fuck you're at, I'll go. Yeah. I'll set my shit up. Just don't mind me. I'll be fucking putting shit up and.
Yeah. I hated doing that. I did it too, but I hated it.
If you have a good setup where like it doesn't require too much, like yours is pretty clean.
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
Like yours is
one outlet.
Clean.
That's it.
Yeah. Like you could like probably.
This is my interface right here. That small little fucking thing.
That's all you need, really.
No bigger than a cell phone, right? Look.
That's all you need. That was the first one I bought.
The Zoom?
The Zoom.
H6?
Uh-huh. That was the exact same one.
Now you got the big ass bad boy.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Roadcaster.
The Roadcaster.
Collecting dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you got a lot of podcasts right now. Podcasters are turning their heads right now. Like, God damn.
I saw the newer ones, and I'm just like, damn, man, I would have been all over that.
Those are like $600.
$600.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I went on Z-Sound, and you could do payments on it. That's how I did it. Everyone thought I was balling. I was like, hell no, this is fucking podcast on a payment plan right here, dude.
It is cool if you use it though, right? Like if
Yeah.
you use all the everything that has like it's a soundboard.
The capabilities, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everything. That was my biggest thing. That was the only thing I cared about was audio.
Yeah.
Like as long as it sounded good, that's all I cared about.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
But those are, it's kind of like this. Like you can set it and forget it. But if you do want to use those little soundboards, you can.
Because I get kind of engaged with the conversation that I would forget to. Oh, what button was that?
Oh yeah, I was the same way. I would hit it and it's not the one I wanted, and I'm like, all right.
You're trying to do like laugh button and you hit the fart button or something like that.
Yeah, or it was like the cricket one, or like it's like, you can make your own. So I remember I had the something about authority? I can't remember.
Fuck the authority.
Yeah, and I would always look for that one, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I hit the laugh one. I'm like, yeah, moment's over. Moment's gone.
Yeah.
Can't use it anymore.
Man. Well, I was gonna ask you, but I think you kind of answered it about what do you think has changed? That you're not recording anymore, and I think like for you guys were all young. 20 or what, mid-20s?
Yeah, I'm 29 now.
You're 29, so it was mid-20s when you guys were really hot in the podcast.
Yeah.
Now you guys are getting old. You get into your 30s, and everybody's like,
yeah,
you got kids.
Jesse's engaged.
I say kids because I'm 43.
Yeah.
Okay, engaged.
Jesse's
no
engaged.
No kids.
No kids yet. No kids.
Okay.
Not that I know.
Not that I know.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
But nobody else has kids, right?
No, the guys that we do the podcast with, no kids. But like, I know Abe is ready to like. He's probably gonna pop the question soon.
Yeah.
Like. Jesse's already engaged. Louis, same thing. Like he's so like still with his brother, like focused on his brother. And there's days where like, hey, I can't go out with you guys because I have to watch my brother.
Yeah.
So we're all still like in the thick of it, and then like even Jesse's gonna be even more in the thick of it. Like with his probably soon to be family. I'm sure that's the next step. You know, engaged, married, and then here's fucking Jesse Jr. There it is, and then. All right, bye, Jesse. And then there were 3.
Yeah.
And then it goes down. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would encourage you guys to try to see if you can do it again, or at least like a one-time deal.
Yeah.
Like you get together and just try to do it. Like since you're not doing it for monetary reasons, you're just doing it to hang out. Why not do once a month? Or quarterly or something like that. I don't know. Like, hey, let's get together this time and use it. You could use someone else's platform, or you could do your own platform and just put it out there. Guaranteed. People are still going to tune in.
Yeah, and
I mean, you already said it. Like, people keep asking you, where's the kickback?
They do, and then I'm just like, man, like, I do miss it sometimes because it was just moments where, like, we learned a lot about each other.
Yeah.
Like, that was when, like, we were all, like, Abe and Louis, we became friends, like, after high school. Jesse and I have known each other since we were, like, 12 years old.
Okay.
So, like, I was getting to learn more about I would learn more about Jesse, learn more about Louis, learn more about Abe. Like, I didn't know their situations that much, or I didn't know too much about like Louis' family or Abe's family. Like Jesse, same thing. Like I knew who who their parents were, who their sisters or brothers were. Yeah. But I didn't know like how they grew up.
Yeah, the history.
Yeah, like, oh, this is why you're like that, or this is why you say shit like that. Like. Those were always interesting. That's why I liked it. Yeah. Because we learned about each other. Yeah. Or like moments where I would talk about going to like Peru with my family. Yeah. And they're like, wow, why didn't you ever tell us that? I'm like, just it never came up. Like, I'm not going to just be like, hey guys, randomly just throwing it out. Like, no. Yeah. It just comes up in conversation. Yeah.
But you did when you went to Peru. It was during when you guys were podcasting, right?
One time, yeah. So it was funny.
Also, the first time they didn't know about
that. When I was like a kid.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
like when I was like 12, I would go like every other year.
Oh, okay.
And then once we started the podcast, I think like a month later, I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to Peru. This is how you use the stuff. This is how you record. This is how you upload. Mm-hmm. Have fun. It was just like. I think they did one episode without me. Yeah. All the other episodes I'm on. Yeah. So there's one episode where I'm not on. I think it's like 4. Episode 4 or something.
I wonder if I heard that one. I know that when I started listening to... when did you start recording? 19? or 18?
18.
18.
18.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't listen to that.
Yeah, because we
Probably too
did
far
it
back.
solid 2 years, and then the pandemic. Yeah, so I'm like 18.
Yeah, I think I started listening to it with like pandemic.
Yeah,
Just a little bit before that.
and those were even fun too.
Those were really fun, the pandemic ones, because you guys were telling stories about how the everybody's. It was like in that moment, you know.
Dude, there is an episode. I still will never forget this.
You get
I'll
close.
never forget it. When it was like January, and I'm glad it's on recorded. I'm like, hey, like what's up with this COVID stuff?
That's the one. Yeah.
Is this even a thing? And then there's one guy like, nah, this is fucking serious, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then, like 2 months later, it was like, oh my god, the world's ending.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I have that recorded. Where it's just like,
That's part of history.
yeah, like what is? And I remember it was the same episode. It was after Kobe died.
Yeah.
It was after Kobe died, and it was like the last 10 minutes of the episode. I was like, hey, real quick, what the fuck is COVID? Like, and they were serious. It was like, and the rest is history. Fucking the whole world closed down.
But when you think about, like, I know I think I still have it on my Instagram, like on the profile thing. I've always called it digital footprints from when I started recording. I've always called it like that because I believe that, you know, you're leaving that behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like I said, that's part of history. One day you're gonna have kids, and that's out there. They're gonna listen to, like, what's this whole COVID thing? Just listen to my podcast. Like,
they're gonna hear the moment where where I remember leaving to the market, and my mom was like, I know, no, just don't touch anything. I was like, I'm fine, Mom. Like, God. Oh, dude. Or like when Jay talked about he went to the Bimbo and they were all out of bread. And Jesse was just like, that's all they do is make bread. How the fuck are they out of bread? They're out of bread. Like that, like it's just, oh, there's no more toilet paper. Like just shit we would laugh about.
some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
those are funny. Like, just how did you deal with it? Like, I
Yeah.
just listened. Like,
just check it out. I mean, it's out there. Like, you can't really lie about it.
yeah.
Like you know, before I was on the air, not on the air, you know what? You know what I mean, I was
whatever you call this.
yeah, whatever
the
you
waves,
call this,
whatever
the
waves.
on the cloud
Yeah. there you
for
go.
like once a week,
Uh-huh.
at least once a week. Same thing with you, right? Once a week, you guys
Yeah,
were out there
once
doing
a
it,
week.
pretty much. Let's go. Imagine all the shit that you said, all the stories you told.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward like 10, 15 years, you got kids and you're telling the same stories. And this happens as you get older. You
Yeah.
start embellishing.
It gets
Your
wilder.
story gets crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Instead
like,
of like 5 guys, it was like there was 20 guys.
There's 20
on-
guys.
Yeah.
So now it's like, nah, fool, we got receipts, dude. We're
Yeah.
gonna go back and check that out, Dad.
Yeah.
You
That's
didn't say that, you know?
those are it's crazy, dude. Like even the episodes that we did virtually were like that was like trying to put episodes together with I'm like, all right, do you guys have a fucking mic or do you have this? I have my gaming mic, the one I use fucking to play Call of Duty with. That was another thing. We would be up at 4:00 in the morning.
That's crazy.
And those are the episodes that were never episodes that I wish I recorded.
Yeah.
We were up 4:00 in the morning.
Which you could have if you
I
did it
could
right
have.
with Twitch. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you could have done it
Oh
like
my
that.
God. We would have probably popped off on that.
Yeah.
And the shit that we were saying and just getting murdered by like 10, 12-year-olds. And I'm like, he's right there. Like,
Yeah.
what are you? Or like, I'd be blind. Like, I can't fucking. And I couldn't see shit. Like, my TV's mounted. I'm like on my bed or whatever. And I would go to like Jesse's house and I'm like, let me see your setup. How do you play?
Yeah.
And this was fucking 5 feet,
God
an inch
damn.
away from me. I was like, no wonder you
So
could
he's like,
see
he's
everybody.
turning his head left, he's turning his head right.
Yeah,
to
I was like, no wonder you could see everybody. And this was talking shit to me like, what, you don't see him? Like,
yeah.
those moments were funny. Like, I would even say, like, dude, we got to record these. But those were the moments where we would be saying some stuff that we should not be saying. It'd be late at night.
So, go ahead, get one. So, go. Oh, yeah, please. You've been staying really busy, right? We talked about your coaching.
Yeah.
We recorded for about 10 minutes before I actually did the whole announcement, so I'm not sure what's going to come out,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to be aired or not.
I can repeat. It's fine.
But you were always the coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something
As
that
Jaime's calling me now is he's calling me Coach Chris.
Coach Chris. Well,
Which I don't mind it because that's all I hear all day.
Yeah, we've talked about that. You know how I did some coaching. You actually helped my son out
Yeah.
with his hitting. He was struggling, and he changed like what you know. I always say, you're gonna take a little bit of something from each coach
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So whatever you take, carry it over and use it. The one thing, I don't know if you remember, but the one thing that you changed with him was his grip.
Yeah, his fingers.
His fingers, the way that he was gripping it. And as soon as he did that, it wasn't so much the whole knocking knuckles. It was the thumb.
Yeah.
So you had him do the thumb thing right here.
Yeah.
Like so people that are looking or that are listening only, it's putting the thumb. It's gripping the baseball bat, but then putting the thumb right above, right the bat. So like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And that helped him out.
I'm glad.
And he's been. I mean, he goes through his slumps like any.
Which everybody does.
Yeah.
Shout out Mookie. 0 for 25 or something.
Jesus. Postseason? Postseason Mookie is not the best right
now. Hey, he's back.
Yeah. But yeah, that helped him out a lot. So again, thank you for that. But
appreciate it.
But yes, you've always been coach. Now, like you said, you just take it way more serious now.
Yeah.
It's at a whole nother level.
Well, I mean, like, I always took coaching serious. Like, so I started at the middle school. Well, actually, no. I started elementary where I was coaching. I was at an after-school program. And they had... like the whole district like had the same after school program.
Okay.
But I was in one school and they were like, hey, we're gonna do a basketball tournament. Actually first was volleyball. We're gonna do a volleyball tournament. So like get your after school program, people and get a group of kids. So I started doing volleyball. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And then they're like, oh, basketball's coming. Like, oh, I like basketball. I'm gonna coach basketball. And I was coaching like 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had to make cuts because like all these kids would come try out, like half the school. And I'm like, dang, I gotta like cut kids. And I remember I'll never forget cutting this 4th grader.
Yeah.
Cause it's 6th grade, like it's for the 6th graders. But they put out, 4th, 5th, and 6th can come try.
They have to put that out, right?
Like, so I remember putting up the list or saying the names of who made it.
So that's how that was your process. Let me just announce the ones that made it. The rest, like, just ignore them.
Yeah, like,
let me turn my shoulder away and then.
Like so, and that because that's what I like. The girl that was in charge, she was like, okay, just tell the kids who made it. It was not structured. Like I was like, usually they just put a list up, right? And like you go and you see your name and like just tell them right now. All right. So I'm over here. I say the names, and this 4th grade kid, I'll never forget. Does that mean I'm not good enough? Oh my god, dude!
You're damn right.
I was like, I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. And I remember saying some bullshit. I had to go talk to him. I was like, look, you're just not ready. You're not ready yet. I was like, but in a year or 2 years, you're gonna be the one that's ready to play.
Yeah.
I was like, so you're not. It's not that you're not good enough. I was like, you're just not ready yet.
That's nice. That's
and
good.
then like I gave him some spiel about like like a fruit. Like you can't pluck a fruit too soon. Or
yeah.
I was like, or it's not good. They're not ready.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. So he's like, okay.
Okay, coach.
So I
actually don't call me coach because you didn't make the team.
I was like, only they call me coach. So I pulled that out. So then I did elementary for a bit. And then my middle school PE teacher knew that I was doing that and knew that I was working in the district. So they were like, hey, we need a basketball coach for boys. And I was like, well, okay. How hard can it be? I was like, it's just fucking basketball.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be too serious. So I was like, at first I was very hesitant. I was like, I don't think so. And she was like, look, if you don't coach, then we don't have a team and they can't play.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, wow, way to guilt me into this. So I was like, okay. And I remember she gave me this tape. She was like, because I told her I tried to like get out of it. I was like, I'm a baseball guy. I really don't coach.
Yeah.
So she was like, here's a tape.
You ever heard of John Wooden?
Yeah. It was this like super cheesy tape that I was like, I threw in the back of my car. I was like, I'm never looking at this tape. And we have 8 games. It was an 8-game season. And then at the end, it's like, okay, well, they have a tournament. Dude, I was so bad. I felt so bad for those kids because I did not prepare them whatsoever. Because in my head, I was like, middle school basketball, it can't be that serious. Yeah. Every day we would just scrimmage. All right, let's go 5-on-5, scrimmage. And then we go to these games, and they're like trapping in zones, full court press, running on offense. I was like, oh my God, like we won the last game. We won the last game, and we went crazy. And then 2 weeks go by, and she's like, all right, the girl season's coming up. I was like, Miss McIntosh, did you just not see what I did out there? I was like, this is not for me. And she was like, if you don't do it, there's no team. I was like, was like, how much time do I got? She's like, tryouts in 2 weeks. All right. I was like, I'm not gonna let this happen again.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, 2 weeks. I fucking found that tape. I was like, where's that DVD? I was like, I looked at that, and then I started going on YouTube, and cause like growing up, I played basketball like at the park.
Yeah,
like,
was
for
it
the
never
leagues.
organized?
Oh, well, for the leagues. Yeah.
Also, it was organized.
So, but my dad was a coach.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he had no basketball experience.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right, layup lines and bounce pass, chest pass,
Yeah.
that stuff. And then I made the middle school basketball team, which, you know, he was a little more structured, like, you know, taught me how to like get a layup. But after that, it was just baseball.
Yeah.
So I had to get in the rabbit hole of coaching basketball, and I started learning. And it's not like a Cinderella story. Like, we went undefeated. No, we went like 4-4.
Yeah.
Oh, it was better.
That's a good season.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, better. And then what made me get way more serious was when those players came back. Well, it was more the girls, because the first group of boys, I didn't help them at all. Those group of girls, they came back, and they're like, Coach, I made the high school team. I was like, no way. And they're like, everything you showed us, we already did it, and that's how we made the team. Because we already knew how to do the screens and dribbles and this and that. And I was like, damn. I was like, okay. Like, I was in my head, I was like, that's my role. I'm going to get these kids ready.
Just get them ready for the next
a tryout.
The next step.
Like, that's all I'm going to get them ready for a tryout.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to at least have a chance.
Yeah. Like,
that's all I want from them, is to have a chance to say, hey, maybe we take that girl on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward, if you look at Cal High's girls basketball team, I can guarantee you I've coached over the past 10 years more than 70% of those girls.
Wow.
And it was just like, that was my main focus.
Yeah.
That was all I cared about. And then fast forward, like, after doing that for 7 years, I was like, it was right after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, I think I'm done. Like, I was already focusing on the podcast more, and I was like, I think I'm done, dude. Like, that's it. This is my last season. And then I was still torn. I was like, dude, like, I love coaching. Like, I love it, but I don't know. And I remember sitting in my car right after work. And I don't do this a lot, but I remember I was like, God, please tell me, give me a sign.
Give me a sign.
Give me a sign that says, like, I should be done and focus on podcasting, or do I just keep doing this?
Yeah.
I kid you not, halfway back home, my sister-in-law sends me a screenshot looking for a high school basketball coach. And I was like,
there's your sign.
No, I was like, this can't be. I was like, damn, God, that was way too fast. I was like, that was way too fast, God. And then I see the number, and I'm like, all right, let me put the number. I put the number in my phone, and I have this guy's number
Already
on my
saved
phone.
on your phone. Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh, dude, like, I coached with this guy 1 year because we needed an extra coach.
Yeah.
And he had told me, like, oh, yeah, I coach high school basketball at girls. And that was it.
Yeah.
I saw him for one season. We traded numbers. That was it. I never had texted him. And I was like, dude, like, this is a sign. Like,
Yeah.
And sure enough, I messaged him, and he's like, yeah, man, like, come through. And now I've been at that school for 3 years. Yeah, this is my third season.
After high school.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I felt like it was meant to be, or it was I asked God for a sign, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't do that. Like, that was like probably the only time I ever did that.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out. And I was like, I can't say no to
He
God.
works in mysterious
like,
ways.
And I remember my mom always used to bug me about it. She's like, because I never had patience when I was like 18, 19. I mean, what 18 or 19-year-old does, but I would like just get really upset. Like, I would freak out, and I would be like, God, just give me patience.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like, you know, if you ask God for patience, he's just going to put you in situations so you can learn how to be patient. And I started working with kids. I was like, all right. So I was like, I mean, I guess, and I learned how to be patient.
Yeah.
So, like, even now, like, there's some coaches that I work with, like, how are you so calm all the time? Oh, I learned, like, I've worked with every age you could think of.
Yeah.
From 5 years old to 19, 20 years old. Like, I've worked with every age group. I just learned how to just relax and not.
How do you how do you do it though? Like,
I've been through every situation you can think of. Like, just
So you went through the frustration process
Everything.
already, all that. And you
Everything.
just learn to just, all right, it's not.
It happens.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna make mistakes. Am I gonna be upset and annoyed by it? Yeah, but I'm not gonna like fucking throw a fit on the sideline and then end up on TikTok or something. But like, dude, like just this week, like a little girl in my class pissed herself, and I was just like, it's all right.
What do you do?
Accidents happen.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we'll go to the office, whatever. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, just. Whereas some people are gonna be like, oh my god, like, why did you pee yourself? Like, you gotta raise your hand. It's all right. Let's go to the office.
Yeah.
No big deal. Like, and I see that a lot.
Don't make it worse, right?
Yeah. Now this kid's traumatized. Like, and now all the other kids saw. Like, like, that's my biggest thing is like, don't embarrass a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no matter how old they are. Like, even in high school, like, I get some coaches think like, they have to get their point across. I could get my point across without having to like embarrass you in front of the whole team. Like, I feel like that's my style. Just calm, cool, collective. Mm-hmm. You're gonna understand why I'm upset.
Well, I'll tell you, I did the coaching. I started when I was 5 years old. Oh, I'm sorry. Not when I was 5 years old. When my son was 5 years old.
I'm going to say, there's kids on YouTube now. Have you seen that little boy who's a basketball coach?
No.
Dude, all you have to do is kid basketball coach. This kid's like, like the whiteboard, the basketball board? That thing's like more than half of his body. And he's drawing up plays. And it's hilarious. Like, there's kids now.
It's just everything that he's learned, or is actually legit? Like, he's like,
I don't know. Shit. Like, he's mic'd up.
It's all memorization.
He's mic'd up yelling at refs and stuff. It's so funny.
I seen one like a baseball one like that.
Yeah,
like a little kid like that that's running.
Yeah, so now, if you say you started at 5 years old, I'll believe you.
Okay, I didn't. My son was 5 years old when I started coaching him. Mm-hmm. Little league and all that, right? And then I got to a certain age when I was like, okay, that's it. I can't do anything else for you. Like, I'm done, because I was never a baseball guy. And even if I was, I don't know if I would be able to, get him that far. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I could. I just stopped. I stopped doing it at the age of maybe 11. Even though I had that travel ball team last year, I wasn't coaching. I helped out, but I really wasn't coaching. Okay. And I didn't even help out that much. I was more like, I was more like the super team mom.
Oh, okay, like the booster.
Yeah, and but or what the boys used to call me, they used to call me GM. Oh, because I was the one that was getting help. I was recruiting, getting kids, doing all that. Right.
That's a good one. I like that.
They called him the GM.
I like that.
But so anyways, my point is, I did it from 5 all the way till he was like 11, and then and I stopped, and that's it. And you advance, you progress as a coach, right, from 5 to 11. Now I have my 5-year-old that's playing, so I gotta start all over again. Fuck. Dude, it's hard. I don't know if I have the patience. I mean, I have the patience for. I just gotta reach in and bring it out. You gotta
find it. Yeah.
Because I know I have it. It's just because I had it before.
You've done it before.
I've done it, but it's been tough, man.
It's hard. Like, yeah, like having like now that I'm doing like K through 3 PE, I'm like learning patience again, like even more, because before I was doing 4th through 6th grade. Yeah. Where it's like, all right, like I could talk to you regular, like hey, pay attention, get focused. Like I could kind of raise my voice. And they're like, oh shit, like let me just pay attention. Now it's like, come on, one more time, come on. Oh, you have to tie your shoe. Okay, I've tied over like a fucking 1,000 shoelaces already, like this school year. And it's like, oh, he said this, and oh, he picked it. It's just like I'm learning it all over again. And like I think coaching basketball, because like everyone, like even my family I don't think my family or like even my friends understand how serious I am about it now. But even my family, like early on, they were just like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to practice. It's Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because we got to practice. Like, we have to work on this. Yeah. I'm like, what are you, like, they just didn't understand how serious I was taking this. Yeah. Or like, it'd be like, Christmas break. Where are you going? Practice. Why? It's Christmas break. We have a game in a couple weeks. Practice. Like, we have to do this. Yeah. And then a lot of it was going from coaching middle school to high school. I had that in my head, like, can I do it? Like, can I coach high school basketball? Because that's a whole nother level. Yeah. Like, middle school, I did it for 7 years. I was like, I already know what to expect. I know the most amount of, like, highest level of basketball that age group is going to have. So nothing was like, maybe that's why I got kind of bored and wanted to leave. Yeah. now in the back of my head, it was like, can I do high school? Can I do high? And then like my first year doing it, we got second place in league. And I was like, okay, like I remember I tell my girls all the time, like, you have to go out there this year like with something to prove. Everyone has something to prove. It could be to yourself, your parents, your teammates, your classmates, your coaches.
Yeah.
Like you have to have something to prove to drive you that whole season.
Get that
Because we're with
motivation.
them like from like it's a all year. Like it's not just like, okay, like our 2 months are done, like
Yeah,
bye,
yeah.
see you next. No, like it's a grind. So like you have to have something like that's what fuels you.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, I was like, okay, my first year was like I have to prove to everyone that I know what the fuck I'm doing. So like when I first got there, it was like the varsity coach, Coach Pittman, who's, I mean, he's been doing it for over 25 years. He's like in that community like a legend.
Mm.
I didn't know this. Like I just went in like, yeah, this guy coaches basketball. If I would have known more about it, I probably would have been a little more like, you know, shy or like a little like, oh man, like surprised.
Maybe it's a good thing you didn't know
I
about
did.
it.
That's what I said. Like, I'm glad that I wasn't like in awe of him. Like
Yeah.
it was just like a normal conversation. But I had to prove to him, like, dude, like this guy just said yes because I knew his JV coach from one season coaching, whatever. So he was taking a shot, like, all right, man. Like, so like I had to make sure I'm not making this guy look bad. Now I have to make sure like this guy's running this program that everybody, they'll see my shirt and they're like, oh man, is Pittman still there? Like, oh, that's a great program.
Wait,
So
what school is this?
Whittier
Okay,
High School.
Whittier High School.
So like I'd be like, damn, you know, like all this pressure. Like I would be coaching, and you know, like you could see people watching you. Like you could see like people would look over to see like even the varsity like players, like because I'm doing freshmen.
Yeah.
And like everyone in the program, parents, players, coaches, they're all looking at me like, does this guy know what he's doing? So like for me to get,
Why is he wearing a baseball hat?
Yeah. Some people are like, there's one guy that I ran into who was like, hey, good job, man. Like, we're going to keep these hats on. He's like, fuck no hats. So I was like, yeah. And yeah, like I was just like, I have to prove that. So getting second place, I was like, all right, like I showed that at least I know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I came a game away from winning a championship. So then my second season, I was like, all right, I already proved to everyone that I know how to coach. My second year, I have to prove that my way of coaching is a championship way of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not yelling and not screaming and just like, you know, having that calm demeanor all the time. And sure enough, that year, undefeated, won league championship. So now I'm on my third year. Now I got to like prove that it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't an accident. Like, so I just constantly like, it's just pushing me to like, I'm getting more invested every freaking year.
Yeah.
And then like you get to meet these girls and you get to meet like get to understand like their stories, their background, where they're from. And obviously some people have like some shitty some shitty things going on in their life. And then like, this is all they have.
Yeah.
Like this is all the one thing that they have that takes them out of like
away from that lifestyle that they're.
Yeah. Like there's some girls that's fucking like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock at night. And they're still like, hey, can I still shoot? Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Like I got shit to do right now. Keep shooting.
Yeah.
We'll keep working. So like just learning that, and then like being around coaches that actually have the same passion that I have. Because before it was like middle school, like, hey man, I'm just doing this because they're paying me a little check.
Right.
Or like, hey, they told me that this is my first year teaching at this school, so they told me I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like they have the same amount of passion. Like Whittier's coaching staff for girls basketball, like they made me a better coach, because like I've noticed, like I've learned so much from Pittman just the 2 years, learned so much from our JV coach, like all the coaches that are there, I've learned so much from them because they've been doing it either just as long as me or longer than me because they've been at that level way longer than me.
Right.
So you're just learning so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the first year I was there, I don't think I said a word. Like at a varsity practice, I was just like,
are you? So you were part of the varsity practice as
so
well?
yeah, so like I'll coach my freshman girls,
Yeah.
and then I'll go and help coach varsity,
varsity.
or coach like help with JV and
Yeah.
varsity and like help everybody.
Okay.
So like during those varsity practice, I'm watching
Just
and learning,
sponge.
watching and learning.
Yeah.
And like I'll give little tidbits for the girls, like whether it's like their shooting form or like little things like that, or you got to look at this, look at that. but I wasn't like coaching like I was with my freshman girls. Now it's different. Now I'm like all in there freaking coaching like that. But it was just like learning. So now it's like I could see myself wanting to have my own program, like run a whole, varsity JV freshman, like run my own program. And I even, like this past summer, I was like, I'm going to throw my name out there to a few places that are looking for coaches. Threw my name out there like La Habra or like Montebello or like all these other schools. And then throwing my resume out there to see, not expecting much, and then getting calls back. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, all right, we're having an interview. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this is serious. And then, unfortunately, like, obviously, I didn't get it. But getting that experience.
Of course. And then getting that introduction in there. Because maybe it didn't work out that time, but then it's not going to work out with the coach that they hired. And who do you think they're going to call, Next in line or whatever.
Exactly. So, like, and then, like, just understand, like, man, like, am I really ready for that? Like, I was ready. Like, I thought I was ready. I'm still ready now. So, like, even, next summer we'll see, like, the whole coaching cycle again and see who was looking for a coach. And it's not that I want to leave Whittier. Like, I would stay there forever. But it's just, like, I'm ready to
elevate yourself.
To run my own program because of Pittman. Like, because of everything I learned from him. Like just watching. Like, I want to do what he's doing.
I'm sure you're still learning from him.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think it's the same? Like, no, so when you were doing middle school, you were getting them ready, prepping them for high school, right? Mm-hmm. Getting them ready for the next step, which is high school. Now you're getting them ready for the collegiate level, or has it changed to, like, let's get the wins, let's get championships, or doing both at the same time?
Yes, that's probably more accurate, doing both at the same time. Like, because if I'm coaching my freshman girls, I'm getting them ready for JV, which is like,
or varsity. Yeah,
because there's some that have skipped JV and they go straight to varsity, which is cool. Like, oh man, like
on your watch,
we developed them fast enough to
third year.
This is my third season.
This is your third year.
Yeah.
So then after this year, one more year, and you're gonna have the very first one that graduates out that you had for 4 years.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what's crazy. And like, a couple of my girls have mentioned that, like, because they're juniors now. Yeah. I'm like, one more year? I'm like, yeah, one more year, dude, and I can get rid of you. They're just like joking around with them. But, like, yeah, it's crazy to think, like, I can't wait to see that 1 year where it's like the whole varsity team is a group of girls that I had, which will be fun to see it. But, yeah, like, so for freshmen, it's just like basketball IQ and then fundamentals, like dribbling. Because there's so many girls, dude, that, like even this year, I probably have the most amount of girls who've never played basketball ever. And, like, I asked them, like, why did you try out? Like, not trying to be a dick. I'm just like, why? Like, you never played middle school. You never picked up a ball. Like, why? Like, I just wanted to that's all I need. I want to try it, and I want to get better. That's all I need. All right, let's do this. Okay. If you want to put the work in, we're going to do it. We're going to put the work in and go and see how far we can get. Yeah. And then there's some girls that have a little experience. So, like, having that patience of, like, all right, you made this mistake already, like, a couple times. Like, all right, then that's when, like, raising your voice gets there, or, like, just explaining to them, like, you can't make these mistakes. Like, in a game, it's not going to go good for you. And then JV, same thing. It's like, all right, now you got to get ready for varsity because that speed is so different. Like, I'll never forget watching the first varsity girls game. I sat down and I was just like, all right, let's see how this goes. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, like, this is fucking fast. Yeah. Like, everyone talks shit like, it's girls bad. Like, I've heard every joke possible. Like, oh, it's girls basketball, whatever. Yeah, it's a joke to you. Like, let me see you step on that court. And I promise you, these 17, 16-year-old girls are going to go circles around your ass. Like, it is insane. And then, like, the level of competition, like, the level of just, like, competitiveness, like, it's intense. And it gets me hyped up. It gets everyone hyped. Like, it's intense. Like, there's fights that break. Luckily, no fights here, but, like, I've seen, like, there's games going on, like, tournaments or whatever. Like, people are getting, like, it's intense atmosphere. So, like, getting the girls to understand, like, you're going to be in an atmosphere that you've never been in. Yeah. Like, parents are yelling. We're yelling. Players on the court are yelling. There might be a girl talking shit to you in your face right now because they knocked down a three in front of your face. How are you going to handle that? Yeah. Like, everything. Like, the refs might be bad that night. It doesn't matter. Like, anything goes.
Any element you can
There's coaches that will talk shit to like, other players. They're like, she can't shoot. Don't back up. She can't, like, just talking shit just to get in your head.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy. Like, it just makes me, like, it, like, brought back those competitive juices that I had in high school where it's like, no, we're fucking winning this shit. Like, we're here to compete. And then learning the history of Whittier and, like, how successful they have been, I want to just keep that level, that standard, just as high.
Do you feel pressure at all of doing it, or you just that's something that you personally, it's a personal thing you want to do?
I think I put the pressure on myself, like, because I want to be like, I want them to like I always tell the like Pitman, I'm like, dude, I'm just here to make you look good. Yeah, like that's it. I'm here to make you look good. If I win a league title for the freshmen, like, yeah, that's great, but I'm here to help you. Like my first year, we made the playoffs for varsity, and it was a cool experience to see, like, all right, now we're playing a really good team. Then lost in the first round. Second year I was there, I was way more involved as opposed to the first year. Like, the first year I was just a body. Like, I really didn't contribute at all. Like, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Like, it was just whether I was shy, whether I just wasn't ready for that, or whether, like, I was like, dude, they fucking know way more than me. Like, I have no business fucking saying anything. Like, don't look at me. That's the guy who's been here for 25 years. Yeah. But then the second year was like, no. Like, I need to contribute some way, somehow. So I'm like, all right, who we playing? Rabbit hole. I'm finding every fucking game they've played, who they lost to, how did they lose, what do they struggle with.
Where's their weakness?
So then I'm like, here, coach, I uploaded 3 games of this team that they lost. What can we do? And then we're breaking down film. Now I'm learning how to break down film with him. And like, he's showing me like, okay, this is what we got to look at. This is like things that I already knew, but just seeing it in his point of view. Yeah. Because I would see this, and this, but then he saw all this other stuff that I didn't see. Where I'm like, oh shit, I didn't notice that. So learning all that stuff too, and then contributing, like, we get the win. So I felt like, all right, I fucking helped somehow. Yeah. So it's just like putting that pressure on myself. Because, like, if I could honestly just stand there and not say anything and not contribute, and they could probably win just as much. But I want to try and feel like, hey, I'm here.
You did some kind of effort to,
you know. And it's not like they're putting pressure on me like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's just I want to do it because I love the program so much. Like, just being around all those people, like, you just kind of like fall in love with like being in that environment. Yeah.
I could definitely tell that you're passionate about coaching. So, you know, even like you said, you started from a long, long time ago, but it's still in you, and even probably more, like more now than ever. Like, that fire's a little bit burning more.
Yeah. Because in high school, it was just like, that's it. Like, this is baseball. This is all I'm thinking about.
Fundamentals are gone. Like, I mean, you're still going over mechanics and everything, but now it's more like the game situations of like
this. We're doing it to win. Yeah. Like, I'm not just showing you this for shits and giggles. I'm showing you this because this can mean the difference from us winning and losing. Yeah. Like, you learning all the rules and understanding basketball IQ is going to be the difference from us winning or losing. And like, I tell my girls that all the time. Like, I tell my girls this all the time. Like, the freshmen, like, you're going to learn a whole new language. Like, you're going to learn so many new words that when we talk, no one else that doesn't understand basketball isn't going to understand what we're saying. Like, that's how much I want you to learn. So, like, when they talk to me, I'm like, like, tell me in your basketball words. Yeah. Don't tell me, like, here or there. Tell me, like, what that's called, the key, the block, the top of the key, whatever it is. Like, or like screens or pin downs or like stuff like that. Like, I want you to explain to me what that is. Yeah. So like, eventually, like, now we're still in that middle phase where it's like, they kind of know the word. Like, we're not there yet, but by the time the season starts, we're like,
they should be.
It's a whole new language. Like, we're talking basketball. Yeah. And that's what gets me excited. Like, when like they start talking basketball, I'm like, okay, you're understanding. Yeah. It's just,
and that's the hardest part is in between the years. You know, like, if you can get them to learn that part. And then everything, because there's some of the kids are really athletic, but they can't get that part.
They just like, I just gotta go and do this.
Yeah, I just gotta do it. But why?
Why are you doing it?
And then what if this comes up? What are you gonna do then? You know, like
your athleticism can only take you so far.
Right.
Because then guess what? You're gonna play against someone who's just as athletic as you, but they have it in their head.
You have that advantage,
and they're gonna kill you.
Exactly.
They're gonna make you look like you've never picked up a basketball before. Like it's, like that's why we just joined a league where it's a lot of travel ball teams, and these girls have been playing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to get my ass kicked, like to prove a point, and to like for them to realize like, oh, that's
how
where
you should be
that
playing.
is where I could
that's
be.
Like
I don't like I've gotten my ass kicked like 50-10, and I've kicked people's at like we've kicked people at like 60-2 or whatever. Like, well, we'll shut you out, but going up against those teams that are like, what? This is the stand. This is what we want. So like them having that like, oh, like that's because if you just win, it's just like you're not proving anything.
Right.
Yeah. So I like I said, I love fucking coaching.
What's a couple? Well, there's a couple things before we get off that topic. Do you guys ever play? My niece plays.
Oh,
she's a sophomore at Northview High School. You guys ever play Northview High School?
Dude, we're always there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys probably played her already.
So the
but they do tournaments, huh?
Yeah, they host a lot.
Yeah.
She plays for Northview?
She plays for Northview.
Okay, yeah. Did she play on a travel ball team at all?
I believe so. I think that's how she started.
6'2" Sixers or something?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Really.
I wish. I mean, they're gonna get mad at me, but I should know that. I don't know that.
Yeah, I think they're called something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're always playing at that high school. Like I'm there all the time. This is the first. So the league that we always join in during the fall.
Yeah.
It's always at Northview.
Oh,
this is the first year where it's not at Northview.
Oh.
But it's the same guy who runs it.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're doing something at Northview or or maybe volleyball. I don't know. But
yeah, right now, I'm gonna be there tomorrow for and this weekend for my son's baseball.
Oh, nice.
They
Yeah, because it's right there.
It's like
the gym, then it's
the gym,
baseball.
then the outside courts, the football
There's a
field's
pool
over there.
right too,
yeah,
right?
the pool's on the other side. No one could. If you're listening, you can't see, but yeah, it's all right there.
Yeah, I'm always
Northview.
Damn.
But the other thing I was gonna ask you is, as far as coaching, is there that one thing that you're just really like anal about? Like you gotta have it. It's like it might not be big to another coach, but for you it is. Like I'll tell you, mine was discipline. Like I had to teach these kids discipline, baseball.
Yeah.
So this even last year, like I didn't do, like I told you, I didn't do much on the team, but when I did have the team on my own, I go, hey, you guys. It was like back in the days, like little kids, like, all right, catch the ball, hold it here, wait 3 seconds, now throw it back over there. Wait 3 seconds, now throw it back over here. Yeah. Oh, this is boring. You guys got to learn discipline.
Yeah.
You guys should not be having to chase balls back and forth. Like
just a quick second.
Just take your time, catch it, look around. All right, we're ready to go, throw the ball. Like it's discipline. I was trying to teach them that.
Yeah.
That was my thing. What's your thing?
I bet you if you asked any of my players, they'll tell you, catch the damn ball. I don't know if that's the baseball in me, but it annoys me if someone drops the ball. I will stop practice. Everyone get down and drop. Give me 10. Oh. Catch the damn ball. Or we'll be like, you dropped the ball, so we do 8s, which is like the short length of the court, but like 8 times. Yeah. So I'm like, every time you drop a ball, we got 8s. Yeah. Just the other day. The whole team. So we'll add it up. 2 hours of practice. Just the other day, we had 10 8s because 10 people dropped the ball. Yeah. So it's just catch the ball. Don't drop the ball. It is a big orange ball. Yeah. Catch the ball. Yeah. Or like I have one girl on my team right now. Like she's notorious for dropping the ball. So whenever someone else drops the ball, I'm like, look, I already have one person who can't catch the ball. I don't need 2 people to. It bothers me so much. Like even when I'm watching a varsity game, like and they drop the ball, oh my god!
Why do you think they dropped the ball? Because everybody knows how to.
They're not focusing.
They don't know how to catch the ball.
In my head, it's like you're not focusing on the ball.
It's the whole
ball first. Catch the ball and then go. Yeah. They're trying to do.
They're trying to get to third before they touch second. In
ball
baseball.
First, like I tell my post players that a lot too. Because, like, they're so, like, they want to get into a post move. Yeah. Like, just last week, like, our girl had a wide open, like, nice, but she was already into, like, a post move and didn't have the ball. Yeah. Dropped the ball, turnover, 2 points the other way. Get out. What are you doing? Yeah. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve. Like, you could shoot an air ball. You could, like, turn the ball over. That happens. Yeah. That's out of your control sometimes. Like, sometimes, all right, I didn't see that person.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
I shot it. You know, maybe you just didn't get enough legs into it. Okay, catch the ball.
That's all you got to do.
It's coming at you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
You see it coming. Get your hands up, catch. Oh, even just thinking about it was annoying, man.
But it's funny how we all have that one little thing, though. You know,
Mm.
like that one little thing that we don't forgive for that.
Yeah, dude. Like, I will yank your ass out
Yeah.
if you drop my ball. Like, I'll bust out like the Denzel Washington where it's like, did you just drop my football? He's like, you don't drop my football. Like, so like it annoys me.
Yeah.
Just like, or even like off a rebound, like the ball, it's coming right at you. Like, you see it coming,
Yeah.
grab it. And they like, I felt bad last Saturday. The girl that is notorious for dropping the ball hits the rim. She's under it. She's gonna grab it, and she goes up to grab it, and she comes down, and she dropped the ball, and it goes out of bounds. I was about to chew her ass out, and in front of everyone, I don't care, like, and yank her out. But I guess when she came down, she rolled her ankle on someone's foot, and that's why she dropped. I was like so close, and I was like, "Oh!" I was like, I was already taking you out, but I saw you limping off the court. I was like, "All right, get out." So now and then, like the next day, she sends me a picture of her ankle.
It's all blown up.
And purple. I was like, I almost yelled at you.
Yeah.
I was like, "Whew!" I'm glad he patience on that one. But dude, I remember, it was coming.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like tip of my tongue. Get out!
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
How are you with language? Because I know, if like me, like when I was coaching the 13-year-olds, I tell you how I went from 13 to 5.
Yeah.
So when with my 13s, it's like, yo, get the fuck up, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm cussing. You know what I mean? Like I'm at that point with the 13-year-olds. They're cool. They understand. They're not getting offended by it. It's just that's how I talk.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my point across, and I yell it out there, and I cuss.
Mm.
With the 5-year-olds, there's times when I'm like, "Are you get the?" And I want to say, "Get the fuck up,"
Yeah.
but I can't. You know what I mean? Like Ruben, get up. I don't have any kids on the team named Ruben. That's why I said Ruben.
Just random name.
Ruben, get up, Ruben.
But we know who.
You know what I mean?
We know who.
Everybody knows who Ruben is.
Yeah. I couldn't think of a name to tell. I was about to say her name. I was like, I don't need to put her on blast like that.
In high school is different. I can't see, which I'm sure it's happened before, like high school coaches cussing. Do you get?
So what's crazy is
maybe in practice, but in the game,
our varsity coach does not cuss.
Okay,
I think that's just him. That's just his personality. I've never heard him cuss. Like, there's some guys who are like, oh, I don't cuss in front of kids, but like when it's just the adults cussing up a storm, he does not cuss at all. I have to the point where I don't even cuss in front of him. Like, I feel like
out of respect.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, I've been here for 3 years. I haven't even said one. Yeah. I haven't even said crap in front of you. Like, it's like, gosh darn it. It's like,
it's like Coach Flanders.
Exactly. He said he'll get his point across. Yeah. Like, dude, he has some lines. Like, you know how like someone might say, you're stuck like or like when you deer in headlights.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He'll be like, dude, you're standing like butt naked on the 605. And I'm like, what? He has those lines where you're just like, I've never heard that. I don't even know.
And that's like racy, huh? Like, I just said that.
And I'm like, damn, I don't think I said. Yeah. He'll say like, damn, everyone's playing with their butt cheeks all tight. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't even say that. But I'd cuss the shit out of everybody. Yeah. So like cussing, like I've told the kids this. I told my girls this, like, I will never cuss at you, but I'm gonna cuss in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never gonna look. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm never gonna.
Are you fucking retarded?
Yeah. Like, I'm never gonna cuss at you. Yeah. But I'm gonna cuss in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, if I tell the team like, hey, let's wake the fuck up. Yeah. Let's do this.
Right.
Or like, hey, good shit, great shit, good job. I'm never gonna be like, what the fuck is your problem? What like cuss at you? Right. Big difference.
Big time. I agree.
Yeah. So like in front, like I feel like there's been moments where, because like the bench is right here, and then like parents are right there.
They're just right behind you.
I'll cuss. Yeah. I'm like, hey, we need to wake the fuck up.
But have you had any parents that just, hey, excuse me, Coach Chris?
Knock on wood.
Coach Chris.
Not yet.
Mr. G.
Yeah. Knock on wood. No. Not yet.
Okay.
Because, like, it's just out of motivation.
Yeah.
And it's not anything negative.
Yeah.
Like, it's never, like, you'll never get anyone to, like, no one will ever say that, like, oh, he was being a dick to me. Right. Like, or, like, I felt embarrassed because, no. And there's moments where like I'll pull you to the side. And like you need to get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that you're doing right now is not up to par. Like I'll say stuff like that, but I'll never like single you out. Because like I get it. Like dude, like we've all been players before, and I've had moments where I get chewed out, but it's a different era.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Different era. Like totally different era where, and us coaches talk about it all the time. We're like, dude, like these girls are so soft, these kids are so soft, like. But at the same time, like, all right, like this is who we got. This is how we got to coach them. Yeah. Like we can't coach them the way we were coached, or else half the girls are gonna be gone. Yeah. And we're not gonna have a program anymore. Yeah. So it's like that balance. Yeah,
you're right. But we can't coach them the way that we were coached. But we can do like meet you halfway kind of thing, right? We can still give them. I can still coach you hard. I'll still be hard on you. I might not insult your mother and your father in the process. You know what I mean? Because I used to get that all the time.
And call you like you're a fucking mistake or something. Like,
what kind of parents do you have that embrace you? That, you know, like that kind of shit. But
insult your whole family, your whole bloodline. Like,
but you do meet them halfway, right? Like you try to, you know.
I keep them. I hold them accountable. Yes. Like that's the biggest thing. Like what people don't understand.
For other stuff, not just like on the field or on the court. But like even outside of that is my big thing. Outside of that too, like hey man, act right, you know.
Yeah, like just like even when it comes to like dressing, like I know girls like to like you know they try to look cute or look this like, but when we're in the program, like I don't need you in a crop top right now or like these short ass shorts. You're gonna wear a regular t-shirt. Jeans on, whatever, like if we're watching another game or if we're watching varsity game or a JV game, like I don't need you out like talking to boys. Like we're here to support our team, support our program. We're here together. You stay together. Grades, same thing. Like I told them that's the one area I cannot help you on. I can't just magically turn your GPA into like a 2.5. Like if you need help with homework, there are plenty of resources. Like, if you need time to do your homework, like, all right, we could figure out, like, we could do a study hall once a week or something. But if they come up to me and this player's ineligible, I literally can't do it. There's no amount of money that I can get back. You're magically just eligible. Yeah. Like, that's the one line. So, like, stuff like that, or, like, even at home, like, there's times where, like, you know, like, parents are busy. Like, parents are outside waiting for their kid. And they're bullshitting around talking. I'm like, hey, hurry your ass up. Like, their parents are waiting for you. Yeah. Like, go home. Or, like, parents have to come out of their car, go to the gym just to tell them to hurry up. And then they're like, there's more, like, they're taking their sweet-ass time. Like, take your sweet-ass time again. Have your mom sitting out there waiting to pick your ass up. I'm going to tell her to make you walk. Yeah. Like, everyone lives, like, a mile away from the house or from the school. Your ass can walk, but she's picking your ass up. I was like, so the next time I see you walking, she's going to go, I'm going to tell her, go home. I'll follow you all the way home, and you walk. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, hurry your ass up. Like, just stuff like that. Yeah, or, like, you like their team room, the locker room, whatever that they have. I'll go in there to, like, put stuff away. It's, like, a mess. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, get your shit together. Yeah. Like, just stuff like that. So, it's not always about basketball.
No, yeah. It's about, and that's a good coach, you know? Like, when it goes, it relates to them or travels outside of the sport. You know what I mean? Because that's when they learn as they graduate, as they get older, they can always remember that. They learned that from you. And they may not get it right away. It might come years after. Yeah. When they go, I got that from Coach Chris.
Yeah, like same thing for, like, I'm sure had coaches.
You remember coaches like that, yeah?
Yeah. I remember just having those moments where, like, you get chewed out and you'll never forget those moments where you're just like, all right, I am never going to do that again. Yep. Like, ever. And I'm sure there's moments that I've had with players where I'm like, I'll tell them how it is, or like I'll be dead honest, and sometimes the truth hurts, and I'll tell them, like, look, this is why you're not playing. 1, 2, and 3. This is why you're not playing. This way you're in this, or that's why your grades are at where they're at, or this or that. Like, being honest with you. Yeah. So, like, there's those moments where, like, I'm not gonna fucking do that again. Like, there's one. There's last season a girl kicked one of our basketballs, like, just straight up, just poof. And like, that threw me into, like, you're never gonna kick a basketball ever. Like, till this day, if you go up to this girl, I'm like, have you ever kicked a basketball? Yeah, and I'll never do it again. Like, she'll tell me to this day, like, Coach, I'm never gonna kick a basket. Like it's never gonna go anywhere near my feet ever again. Like, cause you need to know, like, these balls are expensive. These new basketballs, if you look them up, they're like $160.
Really?
For it's insane.
High school basketball?
Like the high school legit basketball, like the Wilson
official
ones.
one that they use.
I was like, oh my God, 160 for this fucking ball. Like, and then to top it off, like our school, like we get 12 or 6 or 8 brand new for the year. And we're not going to get any more until maybe next year.
Are those practice balls or game balls?
Some of them are game. Like we'll save 2 to the side for game balls. But after the season's over, now they're just part of the like the regular practice balls. But every year you
get a new 12?
Last year we got 6. This year we got 12.
Oh,
so it's like every year, like who knows what the fuck we're gonna get?
Yeah.
Maybe one year, the year I showed up, the first year we didn't get any.
No shit.
So like these girls are kicking these balls. It just like threw me into like full on coach mode.
Yeah, it goes back to the respect your equipment, and your equipment will respect you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And every fucking the whole team had to run for it. Like, and I tell it like your actions have consequences for not just yourself but everybody on the team.
That's part of teaching them accountability.
Yeah. Like you didn't I just had this conversation today. I'm like, you don't suck at dribbling. We suck at dribbling. You don't suck at passing. We suck at passing. Yeah. You don't suck at catching the ball. We suck at catching the ball. That's how we see it. Yeah. Because if one person can't dribble, oh, that team, they suck, they can't dribble. Yeah. Right? Or like, oh, they suck, they can't catch a ball. So it's we. So like everything that you do bad, or hey, damn, that team can shoot. But it was really like maybe one girl that could shoot. Yeah. Damn, that team can shoot. It's all just accountability. Yeah. Your actions have consequences, positive or negative. And like they just need to understand that. Like this is a team. We're in this together. Yeah. So I love it. I enjoy it. Like whether it's on the court, off the court, like I feel like I'm one of those coaches that can definitely flip the switch, like on and off. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, practice is over. All right.
And then you're back to it.
Yeah. Like some of the girls have seen the podcast. Like they caught. It was funny because like there was one random night.
Coach, you get high?
Yeah. There was one random night I get a notification, and it says like one of my players' names, and I'm like, no way, that's my player name. Yeah. So I clicked the profile and like her jersey numbers on there. And I was like, oh. I text her. I blocked the page or the Instagram. Text her right away. I was like, nice try. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, this is your Instagram. Yeah. Nice try. She's like, I didn't mean to follow you. I was like, well, you saw it already. Yeah, so, but and then like eventually I unblocked her. I was like, look, I'm not embarrassed by it, ashamed by it. Yeah. Watch it, look at it. I don't care. And I tell them like, just this is a constant reminder that I'm always gonna be funnier than you. Like, so it's cool. Like I don't mind if they look at it.
Do they give you feedback?
They've said like, hey, we should have our own podcast.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, let's do it.
You should do it.
I'm like, we could do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we talk about all the times you like yelled at us, and I was like, all right, chill out. Like,
there's always a few that like you've interviewed people and you've sat and talked with people. Like there's people that you could, or kids that you could talk to and be like, man, they'd be a good person on that seat as a guest. And then there's some that you just like ask them something, they're like, I don't know.
All of a sudden now you don't know. Yeah.
Also, like
maybe, I don't know.
So there's got to be a few that you could probably sit and talk with.
There's definitely characters. There's characters that are like you're like they're funny. Like they make me genuinely like laugh like my ass off. Yeah. Like, so I think the one interview that I would want to do is Coach Pittman, like our varsity coach. Like I would love to just him and like our whole staff. Yeah. Like just to sit and like hear everyone's story on how like everyone got started coaching. Yeah. And like our whole staff, because we have one of our coaches who used to be a player, and now she's coaching now. And she's like our strength and conditioning coach, and like super important for that. Like we rely on her a lot to get our girls like in the best possible shape. Ready, yeah, like weight room, everything, like on the field, on the track, everything. Like just getting them conditioned and like just I want to hear everything. Like even crazy stories that she might have of Pittman when she used to play. Like, so I think the one interview that I would like is just to sit around with our whole staff. Yeah. And, like, just crack open a beer or something. I know Pittman, he'll have a soda. He don't think he drinks.
Man, he won't cuss.
Yeah, he'll have a Coke. Yeah. I'll have some nice Coke.
Hey, you'll finally have a PG rating on
Yeah, I won't cuss. I'm pretty sure maybe the other. Yeah, I don't even think the other coach is cussing for it. Yeah,
Not if he's there.
I know.
you could actually click the box that says suitable for kids.
There it is. That'll be the first time ever. Yeah, I definitely want to do that interview one day.
You should do that, man. That shit would be.
And it's funny because our JV coach, he found the page too, because I think his girlfriend went to high school with Abe, so like he posted something, and then like she was like, "Hey, isn't that Coach Chris?" And I was like, "Oh, you found it, man." He's like, "Yeah, it's funny. I went in a rabbit hole of you, like just looking at your stuff." I was so I think definitely one of these days. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be maybe if we ever win like a CIF championship, not just league, or like if all 3 levels win league, I'm down. I would do that.
Oh shit!
All 3 levels win league. Yeah, we'll celebrate that way.
You gotta have all your gear ready to go in.
We'll have our
because the best way to do it is right after. Like, hey, no one leaves. I know you guys want to celebrate with your families.
Yeah,
we're gonna stay here and record a quick little podcast.
That'd be dope.
That'd be pretty cool.
Little post game.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
All right, we're gonna take a quick little break. We'll be right back. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Adios. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back from break. It was a very long break. You know how Jaime says in Rambling?
Long for us, short for you.
Yes, long for us, short for you.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
It's just short all the way around.
But you asked me what's my favorite beer. And I don't know if the audience could, if you're listening, you can't obviously see, but if you're watching, it's Modelo. I like Modelo. Yeah. I had a phase where I was drinking Ultras. I had a phase where I was drinking Bud Lights. And I blame my neighbor. My neighbor's a big Bud Light guy.
Dude,
shout out to Gene.
A hot day, a nice cold Bud Light.
Yeah.
And I think it's life.
I'll still drink it.
I'll drink a Bud Light.
But like,
I would never say no to a Bud Light.
Yeah. Well, I won't say no to beer.
Yeah.
I'll drink a beer.
That's a good point.
I was just talking to somebody about Moosehead. Have you ever had Moosehead?
No.
It's Canadian lager.
Ooh.
Look it up. It's dope. Really cheap. I don't even know if they still make it, but Moosehead, really cheap.
Sounds like
cheap.
Some sex stuff.
Yeah, but it's better than it's better than like moose knuckle. That's what you're thinking about.
That's moose knuckle. That's where I think. Yeah.
But it's better than like a Mickey's. That's malt liquor. It's better than that.
Okay.
It's a lager. It's pretty good.
Moosehead.
I mean, it's okay.
It's good. Well, it's beer. I drink it.
But I've had it. I'm not gonna say that I drank it, but 805 was my shit. Right now it's Modelo or the yellow can. If you know yellow can, if you don't, Pacifico.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of.
I like Pacifico. Yeah.
I'm trying to think the one that I don't. I think it's Pacifico.
Pacifico? Yellow can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. I love it. Modelo or Pacifico. The light stuff, dude, I get bloated a lot more. Like, you've seen me.
Off the light beer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like the opposite?
It's supposed to be the opposite.
Yeah.
I've had, how many have we had of these?
3 or 4 or 5? Or
maybe like 4.
Yeah.
That's since we started recording. Because before that, I probably had a couple. Right?
Yeah, we were watching Dodger
game, you know?
Yeah.
So, still not bloated? I mean,
really?
I had to take a piss earlier, but...
That's not... Yeah. That's normal.
That's normal.
It's liquid.
But I'm not bloated. Like Ultras, bloated. Corona Light, bloated. Anything that has like light and low calories, bloated.
Interesting.
Right? It's weird.
That is weird.
But anyways.
Your body's ass backwards.
It is ass backwards. And as you get older, you lose your ass too if you don't work out.
It's all gone.
But I used to drink 805.
Yeah.
That was my bag. I used to love 805 until my wife was like, you know what? The nastiest fucking farts that you have are 805 beer.
805 farts.
805 farts are the worst.
I don't think I even have tried to smell my farts.
Dude,
off.
I don't smell them. I don't smell them. To me, everything smells great when I'm fucking drinking, right?
It just feels good.
Yeah. It feels good. But her, you know, like, so
805 farts.
Yeah. So because I don't want to ruin her night.
I'm doing this for you. Okay?
I'm doing this for you. I gave up on drinking the 805 beer because of the 805 farts.
Damn, I don't think I've ever heard that in my life.
So
your farts are dictated by the beer you drink.
Yes, they are.
Not even the food.
No, it's the beer. Forget about the Jack in the Box that you have late at night. After you're driving from the Kickback Podcast and you're like, oh, I gotta get home. It's in Whittier. It's not that long of a drive, but it's gonna take me forever because dude, you're a little intoxicated.
You get a little pissed off. Yeah. You get to sober up in that drive-through.
Yeah,
just a quick little sober up.
That's some crazy shit.
What's the first beer you've ever had?
First beer?
Do you remember?
Budweiser. Yeah.
Okay.
Budweiser.
You remember the moment you had your first
beer?
Yeah,
the first time I ever had a beer was I ditched with I wish I even knew where he was at right now because it'd be pretty cool for him to hear the story. But there's a guy at school. He was a year older than me. I was a freshman, and we ditched school. His name was Edgar. Big boy.
Of course, it's Edgar.
Big fat guy. Big fat dude. And we ditched and we went back to his house, which wasn't too far from the high school, and we got into the refrigerator, in the garage, and they had Budweiser there. Well, what we didn't know was that his dad put the Budweisers in the morning. We get there in like at 10:30, so they're not cold.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So we it was almost room temp Budweiser, and if you ever had room temp beer, it's not the best.
Not the best beer, yeah.
And room temp Budweiser is the worst. It's like literally like piss in a can.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, so that was my first beer, and I was like, oh, I'm never drinking beer again. So I didn't. For that, dude, I did not drink beer. I was always liquor. Hard liquor. Until I got to the age of maybe... I think when I was 21, when I was able to actually drink.
You were just drinking liquor at
only liquor.
School? Oh my
high school
God,
was only liquor.
Savage.
Yeah, only liquor.
Oh.
And, that's how I was able to keep my girlish figure. Because I was drinking the
straight shots all day.
Straight shots. But beer, after that was when I was 21, and I started drinking like Corona.
Okay,
Corona was probably the next beer after that, because everybody was drinking Corona.
Yeah,
we're talking like 99, 2000. You know,
I was 5 years old. God. 2000 I was 5 years old.
You were 5 years old, huh?
Yeah, 95. That's my. I
I
think
was 21.
Damn, that's.
I'm a lot older than you.
You don't seem like it.
No.
What are you like?
I'm 43.
40, yeah, I was gonna say 40. I was gonna say 42.
43.
Look good for 42.
Yeah,
43.
thank you.
I think my first beer was with my dad.
Oh,
I was in middle school, so I was like probably 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Peru, and we went to, because there was a big earthquake, so we like, my parents wanted to help.
Yeah.
And, we had clothes and all this stuff to like help donate. And then this guy took us on like this tour, and he showed us like, dude, this is where the prison was, and it like the walls started breaking, and like the prisoners escaped. And we're like, oh fuck. And then like it was this long day, a long walk, and there was no more taxis, and they're like, we have to walk miles into town before we even see a taxi.
Wait, how old were you?
12.
12.
Like 12. I was in middle school, and so we're like, fuck. So there goes me and my dad, my mom, uncles, cousin.
Yeah.
And pretty much a whole day full of just looking at what this earthquake did to this town.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking miles and miles, and it's hot, fucking thirsty. And we finally find like this town. They're like, finally people.
Yeah.
And we get there, and like, are there any taxis? She's like, no, but I can call and they can come. Perfect. And one taxi came. And there's 7 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And, all right, 4 people go in the taxi. And I was like, Dad, I'm not leaving you. Like, I'm going to stay with you.
Yeah.
Like, let my mom, my aunt, my cousin, she's a girl. Like, and there was one more spot for me.
Yeah.
And they were like, just go. Kids can go. And I was like, no, I want to stay with you. And my fucking uncle was like, all right, well, I'll go if he doesn't want to go. And he hopped in and fucking took off. And they took off, and we're sitting there.
Just you and your dad?
Me and my dad and my other uncle.
Okay.
So there's 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, the guy that was giving us the tour.
Oh, okay.
And we were like, damn, we're thirsty. And the lady was like, all right, well, all I have is beer. And like, they didn't want to give us the water because water's not that clean.
Yeah.
And I looked at my dad, I was like, I'm just really thirsty. He's like, all right, well, I guess you could have a beer. And I was so thirsty that the lady cracked the beer open. And I just
chugged the shit out of it.
Grabbed it and just
nice. Yep.
Chugged the whole thing.
Yeah.
And my dad looked at me like, have you ever done? That That was my first one. I was like, just burped all out, and he was like, and as soon as I put the can down, the lady's like, I found a Coke. And I was like, too late, lady. I fucking give me one more.
Like when you have one, you gotta have another.
He was like, just grab the Coke. Grab the Coke. I was like, all right. He's like, don't tell your fucking mother, all right? I was like, hey, man, I was thirsty.
Do you remember what kind of beer it was?
It was a Pilser, which is like their basic, like, light beer.
Yeah.
They're good. It was a good beer.
You remember the brand? Or is that what it's called?
That's what it's called, Pilser.
Pilser? Oh.
And it's just like their basic, regular, like Bud Light beer.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a light beer. It wasn't anything crazy. But I remember that day, we finally get a taxi. We go back to the hotel. And I remember laying on the bed, and I was like, Dad. I was sharing a room with my dad because my mom went with my aunt. I was like, I want to take a shower, but I'm so tired. He's like, it's fine. We'll just take one in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't, because there was an earthquake that night.
Oh, shit.
And I was freaking out because I just spent a whole day looking at buildings destroyed.
Yeah.
And it was just one of the hardest earthquakes I've ever been a part of.
And plus you're drunk, probably hangover.
After off of probably a beer and a half. I had a beer and a half. And I was shitting bricks. I remember booking it out. My dad grabbed me, and we're running out of the room. And we just hear things breaking, everything. We try to get to my mom's room. My mom comes. We start trying to go downstairs. And my dad stops, and he's like, where's your aunt? She's like, I don't know. Like, she was in the shower. Yeah. So she got stuck in the shower. My cousin started running up. I was like, what are you doing? You're going fucking wrong. It was a crazy-ass night. It was like, I had a beer. I thought I was going to die. I was like, it was all crazy that whole day.
Nice.
My first beer.
I mean, not nice, but that was a good experience.
Yeah, it lived. I had a nice beer. It was a good beer.
Do you remember the how big that earthquake was?
It was like a 6 point something.
Damn. Yeah. So already the structures aren't the best over there.
Already, because the earthquake that crumbled everything was like a 7.8. So the one that we had was like a 6.4.
Damn.
So it was like, if your fucking building ain't down now, like this one's putting it down.
Gonna take it down.
This was gonna do it.
Because we freak out with like 4 point something, and over here, or 3.8.
Yeah,
we freak out. Yeah.
No, my mom cannot handle earthquakes.
No,
like she can't. It's kind of funny in our family because like there's one time I was probably in high school. An earthquake happens. I pop up. I run straight to my parents' room, and my dad's like, because like in my head I was like, I need to turn all the lights on so they can see to get out. Mm-hmm. Like that was my my headspace. Yeah. I need to turn on all the lights so they can run out. Yeah. So I get to my parents' room. I'm turning all the lights as I'm running, and my dad comes out the house to like check on, or comes out of his room to check on me, and then we're like, "Fuck, where's my mom?" And she's going in circles trying to get her sandals on. Oh. Like, oh, it's like trying to get her sandals on, and then out of nowhere she's like, "Ay, Gilberto," and passes out. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Mom, like, it's okay." Like,
that wasn't her first earthquake that she experienced.
But she just can't. Like, she just doesn't like him. Yeah. She passed out. It was funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, the earthquakes are.
I woke up one time to my grandma screaming during the earthquake, like screaming like very loud. Oh. And when you're sleeping, and you wake up to screaming, you wake up screaming.
Oh yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
You started screaming.
Yeah, so I started screaming. so
you open your eyes and
that was
like,
that was the first time that I had ever screamed, like woken up like because of an earthquake. Because to me, like earthquakes it's an earthquake. Yeah, I mean it's fucked up for the really bad ones. That, you know, but it's just it's just moving. We've dealt with through those. You weren't even born during the '94, but there was
the Northridge one.
Yeah,
no.
That was bad, so for me it was an earthquake. But anyways, just an earthquake. So grandma starts screaming, I start screaming, but I'm screaming like fucking crazy, dude. Like I get dramatic. Like I was never in drama.
How old are you?
I had to been like 8 maybe.
Oh my
8
god.
or 9.
This was a high pitched scream.
Oh yeah. Like fucking like who? We have another daughter. You know what I mean? Like. So I'm screaming fucking like crazy, like not like grandma.
Hysterical.
Even grandma she stopped screaming. She was like, "Okay, Dick, that's enough." You know what I mean? Like you got me, Dick. And so I'm screaming loud, and then and my dad just starts slapping the shit out of me because I'm like, I'm hysterical now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm panicking. Yeah. So he starts slapping me because that's how you do when you someone.
Is that the way you have to
I
do?
guess. Fool, I don't know. Fucking, that's old school. But after I woke up because he knocked me the fuck out, I stopped screaming. You know what I mean?
He stopped screaming. Yeah,
he's good. He's good. But no,
he went back to bed.
I had never woken up like that.
That's a crazy way to wake up. Like people screaming.
It's just.
I feel like that's just a natural, like an instinct at that point where you're like, fuck, someone scream. We got to scream. I got to scream too.
Yeah.
Especially at 8.
At
8.
8.
You don't know what the fuck's going on.
I mean, there's a lot of crazy. Maybe I was 10. I don't know.
Maybe I was like 18.
Fucking, that shit was last year. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I've gone through some fucking weird shit at my house. Like, I know, like, so a lot of my family members know this. You may not know because I don't share that often. But I have this story with bananas. Bananas after 6.
Bananas after 6?
Yeah.
I think that's the name of this episode.
You know what?
That's the name of the new podcast.
That's the name of the new podcast. Bananas after 6. So the story behind Bananas After 6 is when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, I was living in El Monte.
Okay.
We were living in a duplex where the upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it was me, my younger brother, my older sister, mom and dad. I had 2 aunts living with us.
Damn.
So those are a lot of people in a small little apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. And in Monte, and we were eating fried bananas, plátanos fritos. You know what's up.
I know so.
So we're eating that. Only that this fucking goloso, this fat fuck over here, was like, let me get 8 of them. You know, I don't know. It was a lot. Fucking eight fucking fried bananas, right? Yeah, and you already know the sugar level on those motherfuckers when they're fried.
Yeah, it goes up. I found out that even if you blend it and you drink it, like the sugar content,
it just goes up.
Yeah.
So now imagine I'm 4 or 5, and I ate 8 fucking fried bananas late at night. I'm watching a movie, scary movie probably, because they like to watch scary movies late at night. Eventually, I say, I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Right?
Fucking bodies are shutting down. You're like, that's too much
fucking sugar crash. I knock out. My aunt goes, because she sleeps in the same bed. There's like fucking 8 people in that damn house. Yeah. And she goes inside and she sees I'm foaming from the mouth and my eyes are rolled over.
Oh, my God.
So something's wrong with it now. Yeah. So they go and they carry me out, freaking out. My mom, she's holding me like the fucking Aztec warrior, right? Like the fucking portrait. She's over in the middle of the street and I'm over here all limbed out, you know? Yeah, foaming and shit. And she's over here like Llorona, mis hijos.
And then the people at the other, like, ¿ves?
Yeah.
We're going to take you.
You see?
That's why you stay inside.
Fucking A. They come out. I think, I don't even know what happened if the ambulance comes, whatever, the paramedics. But somehow I'm good now. I'm fine. But I almost died. That's what the whole story was. I almost fucking died, right? Because I ate bananas.
After 6.
But the whole thing was Mexicans or Latinos. What they say is, you see, that's why you don't eat bananas after 6. Not that there were fucking 8 of them and fried.
That was the whole complex. The whole, you want to end up like a Fidel?
You want to, yeah. So I still do. I swear to God, 5 years ago, man, I had one of my cousins goes, wait a minute. You mean I could eat bananas after 6? Hey, fool, you're 35 years old, dog. If
you ask me, the fuck you want.
So the whole thing was like, yeah, you couldn't eat bananas. In our family, you couldn't eat bananas after 6. And that was because of me. Fucking because I fucking goloso, you know.
Did you guys talk about that at the family reunion? You had to, dude.
I think so. Someone
you have to bring it up.
I think it always comes up. Yeah, it always comes up.
I'll never forget our first family reunion because I was telling you before, like we would have it at Dana Point at the beach. And one of our uncles he's like, hey, when are we going to get in the water? When are we gonna? Like, all right, well, let's go. And he disappears, his Uncle Willie. Yeah. We're like, where's Willie? And he's like, están listos? And he's in a Speedo.
Oh, nice.
And everyone's like, oh, this is that kind of party. Like, yeah. And he's out there fucking Baywatch, just running out there. It was fucking crazy. So now, every time we do have one, they're like, all right, Willie's coming with the Speedo, man. Like, this is happening.
Does he come with the Speedo?
Every time. Yeah. Every time, dude. No joke. Like, if there's anything that's going to happen, it's always going to be that he has Speedo on.
Now, tell me, does he have a Baywatch body?
I mean, once upon a time, I'm sure he's pretty tall, too. He's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
Now he's just like tall, skinny, like kind of skinny.
Yeah.
It's like that skinny fat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm sure once upon a time,
Okay.
that Speedo was.
I was picturing like Popeye,
Like one of those
fucking
fucking
blood in, blood out. You know what I mean?
Nah, he's just once upon a time he would have. Speedo was working for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
So
anymore.
you guys, your family reunions was pretty special. You guys used to do that every year?
Yeah. We stopped after the pandemic. We haven't done one since. We haven't done one since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, my sister was always the one that she looks kind of like you. She likes getting organized, like organizing stuff, and so I think maybe we'll do one next year or something, next summer.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because we always invite like friends and family, like just. And the fucked up part is that since we were the ones doing it, we would have to wake up hella early to get the spots,
to
like
get the right spot.
Like the benches and all
Yeah.
that.
You want to get a
I
shelter?
remember we would have to wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Not probably even sooner. We were leaving the house at 5. Leave the house at 5. Everything's packed, ready to go, and we would be in line because the fucking thing doesn't open until 6. But we'd be in line, the whatever parking lot. And my dad got slick. He's like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna like walk past the bushes and just go chill over there." So eventually, he started doing that. And then the next year, he noticed like people on bikes. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna pack the bikes." And this motherfucker would be trying to get our spot. And every year we would get the same spot.
Yeah,
we'd be waking up hella early just to get the fucking 2 benches.
Yeah.
And then eventually, it's funny. Like our family's like super competitive, so we'd find another family and we'd be like, "Hey, you want to play some volleyball?" It would turn into a fucking like, this is the Olympics here. Yeah. Well, family, like we're team Peru and Puerto Rico and fucking team like over here like Mexico, and then like the Asian family wanted to jump in. All right, let's go. You want some? We're going. It would always be fun. Yeah. Like just having those funny memories, and then like just seeing all the pictures of like, oh, this was like, oh, you were 5, then 6, then 7. And then like, oh, remember that was your girlfriend at the time. And then the next year, she's not there. Or like boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Like
different one.
It's funny. Yeah, like those memories are funny. But we definitely got it. I'm going to try and do one. Maybe now it's my turn to.
Yeah, now you got to host.
Yeah, now it's my turn.
They're very memorable. It's very memorable. It's something special, I think, to continue that tradition. Mm-hmm. I know I think we skipped out on it maybe twice. Yeah. Because of the pandemic.
And it's always for the kids. Like it always is for.
Always.
And now like my niece, she's 2.5.
Yeah.
So now I'm like starting to think like, oh, I want her to like have memories like I had when I was a kid. So definitely like we got to start doing them again. Like that's why we're doing the pumpkin thing and all that.
Oh yeah, the carving.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best things that we did that the kids liked, I noticed was the water balloon fight.
Oh, that's always the best.
Yeah, first we did the catching, and then now you can get water balloons like how it's easy hookup if you have a faucet.
Dude,
it's
have
easy,
you seen that
dude.
where like
easy.
It's a like 60.
Yeah,
and they're little tubes,
and
right?
then you fill them up and then you just shake them, and then they're ready to go.
That's bullshit.
So, but it's not if you're a parent.
If
you're a parent,
it's a lifesaver.
Yes, when you had to.
But when you were a kid and you want water balloons, you gotta go do it.
Yeah,
and I'm you're fucking.
You know what?
Like
that's true. Because we did.
You're telling me your parents would do your water balloons? Fuck no. You want them? You make them.
Yeah.
You go pull them.
We had to do them. We did about 800 balloons, maybe. Man, it seemed like 800.
Yeah, so
I know there was a pack of like 400, and we used up two packs.
That's crazy.
And but we just kept filling them up and then throw the bucket out there, and these kids just kept grabbing them, dude. I mean, it was.
They're gone. They're like gone in 60 seconds.
Oh,
like, I just filled these up.
Easy, all gone, quick.
Yeah. And then the ones that are always the funniest are the ones you throw and they don't break. Yeah. It's just like, and then it's like a slap.
Now you got a stinger on your face.
Right, fuck you.
But they had the most fun probably during that time.
Yeah,
like the water balloons.
Those are always fun.
Yeah,
I remember. I think there was one year we did the park. We did the park and we did the water balloons and what else did they have? There was you could rent there was like a little pond or whatever, so you could rent one of those little sit and pedal and shit.
Oh yeah.
So those were always fun, like just random stuff, and then we'd play like board games and all that.
Yeah.
So like my sister loved organizing all that stuff.
We had piñatas.
Oh, that sounds.
That was fun. That was fun.
Sounds fun.
We know what? Well, one cool thing though, now you're gonna have to pay but you can reserve the shelters.
What do you mean?
So you know those shelters that like you get like a spot.
Oh
at the
yeah,
park,
yeah.
Especially if it's like a city or county park.
Yeah, you have to buy.
You can reserve it. You know. Yeah, you rent it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth it, man.
Yeah, there's some that have the little pits, like the barbecue pits and stuff. Yeah, those are clutch.
But yeah, you don't have to fucking get up early and.
It's just that's what we used to do with fucking because we would go all day, and then at night, like all the fire pits were rented out.
Yeah. So
we would get lucky, like, oh, this one's not. We would have to ask the whatever fucking deputy was in charge that day. We'd be like, hey, which one's not rented? And they would be like, all right, it's this one, the number, whatever. All right, cool. So we'd like set up over there. But some years we wouldn't get, we might not be too lucky.
Yeah.
We would have to like wait for one family to leave. Like, all right, now we go.
This is at a park, right?
That one was at Dana Point when we were at the beach.
Yeah. And we're back from the quick little break.
That one was both quick for you and quick for us.
It was, same thing. You know that they're off today, the Ramsey Alcoholics.
Yeah.
Hey,
no more
Lou.
Yeah, so it's funny.
My favorite guest, my best guest of all time that I had here on the podcast. No offense, but
I mean,
numbers don't lie.
He was a good guest for me
and
too.
He's got the biggest numbers on Spotify.
Yeah,
by a long shot.
Damn, there it is. Yeah. It's funny, like being out of the podcast game or whatever. Fucking still finding out news like that, or like just finding out little news about other people, or like just like our close friends that we used to do podcasts with.
Yeah.
So when Jaime told me, I was like, nah, like you're bullshitting. I don't believe you. I was like, I don't believe you till you announce it.
Of all people, right?
Yeah.
Him.
And I was like, yeah, I don't believe you. And he's like, nah, dude, that's it. Like he said, and I was like, damn. Like, that's it, huh? That's it. I was like, all right, he's gone for now.
For now.
Like, for now.
Yeah, I don't think
it's a break.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of it, but maybe I might poach him before he goes.
You've never had a co-host, huh?
No. Here, no. I've had certain episodes that had a co-host.
No, I'm saying,
I mean, okay, so when I started recording in 2018, I started as a How We Talk podcast, different podcast.
Yes, I remember you telling me this
before.
Yeah.
And then a year after that, I started Talking Again podcast, and no host, no co-host. But every once in a while, I'll bring someone in to do like, hey, let's let's co-host with me, whatever. But and it works out. It's just really hard when you're someone that has an idea of what you want your show to be, your episode to be, and how you want the conversation to go. Yeah. And that other person
has their idea and their vision.
Yeah. Or like maybe you're expecting to jump in and they don't jump in. You're like, I kind of set you up and you didn't get that.
We're supposed to like volley back and forth.
Yeah, you didn't get that. So that it's just kind of like, there's certain people that I know I could do a good podcast with, but maybe they're just not as invested in it, or it's their first time and they had a hard time. They're still learning. Yeah, they're still learning.
Yeah, I think that's I've been lucky to have like whoever I was associated with when I was doing shows. Like when I was at Cerritos and I did the Hot Corner, like the sports radio one. Yeah. So when I was at that, I remember WPMD, where people make a difference. Oh, I remember we always did it with the little pause, where people make a difference. Yeah. So I did it with my best friend. I did it with Joseph Tugboat, and me and him were just. It was like the mics weren't even there. Like we were just arguing about sports. Yeah. And like he would be talking out of his ass, and I'd be like trying to rein him back in, and it worked because we were just like that close together. Yeah. And then like that's how we were able to get like nominated for awards because we were just so like close. Like the chemistry was just way too easy. And that's what I even like the guy who ran the whole studio. He was like, dude, I gotta like send this for an award. I was like, do what you gotta do, man. Like we're just gonna keep recording. Like we're just gonna keep pushing here because we were doing it because we were getting extra credit for a class that we were failing. I was failing, and he wasn't doing that great. Like we weren't doing the homework or anything. But the teacher was like, "Hey, you guys record next door. You bring in your tape. That's like 20 points extra credit." We're like, nice. Fuck yeah! Like we're gonna bullshit about sports and then get extra credit. I didn't do a single assignment the rest of the semester. I just turned in a stack of fucking
extra credit.
Yeah, and. I remember he was like, yeah, I gotta send this in. I'm like, send it wherever you want.
Yeah.
And he came back and he's like, guys, you guys got nominated. We're like, shut the fuck up. We're like, and these were like, we thought it was like nominated for like best sports talk show for community college.
Yeah.
But it was best sports talk show for any college in the country.
Oh shit.
I was like, let me see this list. And it was like Duke, Harvard, North Carolina. It was like Kentucky. It was like all these like big universities.
Yeah.
And we were like, holy shit. We were like, look at us. And then at the bottom, it was like, Cerritos College. I was like, fuck yeah. And I was like, so what's next?
You guys put them on the map.
I was like, so what's next? And he's like, you guys get to go to New York. Like, you get to go to New York. I was like, for free? Like, we pay for everything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we didn't win. But, like, getting nominated, getting a free, like, flight and room and everything to New York.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, I feel like that is what sparked me, like, continuing to do it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, like, if, like, people, like, these people are listening to, I don't know how many all over the country, and they're saying we're in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, we have to continue doing this.
Yeah. And it's a process that can be so seamless. I mean, there's a lot that goes into pre-production and post-production, but the actual like conversation is very seamless when you're having fun and you're doing it with someone that you can bounce back and forth with.
Exactly.
Where you, like you said, you forget that the mics are on.
Now you're just talking.
You start talking.
You're just bullshitting. You're talking about whatever.
Like, I feel like this has been like that. I usually have like notes right here, like bullet points that I want to cover certain things. And when I agreed to do, let's do a podcast, I knew I didn't have to do notes.
Yeah, there's some people where it's just like, I already know what I want to ask you. Like, I'm curious. Like, I already have questions that I want to like ask you about.
Right.
Same.
I knew you weren't in here to promote, which you never do. Like, I tried to pull it away from you. Like, hey man, promote your show when you were here before. You're like,
just
whatever.
Listen
just check it out if you want to.
Go to the Instagram.
Yeah. I think I even had you record a promo for.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, go to the Kickback Podcast.
Yeah.
I remember like still trying to remember our Instagram name because I never would promote it.
Yeah,
I was like the Kickback Podcast LA.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'll tag it down below.
Yeah. Like that was probably the worst thing that I was at. Like promoting, like when I would say yes to do a podcast, I was just saying yes because like, I want to have a conversation. Just to talk. I want to hang out with you. Yeah. Like, let's hang out. Mm-hmm. So like even when Jaime used to do it, I'm like, listen to the Kickback podcast. Like, I would forget. Yeah. But yeah, like I'm not saying yes to like promote shit. I'm just saying yes because I want to have
a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's the best. I had a talk with my coworker this week about recording the podcast. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what podcast do you listen to? I'm like, well, I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. And then there's like local podcasters that I listen to. He's like, whoa, what is that, local podcaster?
That's a good term, dude. Like you really hit the nail on the head on that.
And then he's like, well, I go, well, local podcasters, like, it's not Joe Rogan. It's like the guy down the street. Yeah. That is.
It's not McDonald's. It's just mom and pop.
Mom and pop. He's talking to his buddies or whatever. You're just you're promoting a business. That's what a local podcaster is. I don't get it. Why would you want to listen to someone else's conversation? I go, if the conversation is good,
it doesn't matter.
I go, I go, how many times?
Or a story.
Yeah. How many times do you feel like just getting that? I'm gonna age myself here, but that glass to the door and just want to listen in.
I wonder if kids do that.
I
remember doing that.
Just listen in to that conversation that's going on in the next room. I go, that's exactly what this is. And he's still he's like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I go, well, who do you listen to? He's like, I listen to and he started naming some comedians. All comedians that are like known, you know what I mean? They're big, famous. I go, okay, well, there you go. Like, you're listening to someone that's already has an established audience. Mm-hmm. These guys don't. So they're just as funny as those guys. Trust me, they are. I don't get it. No, trust me.
Yeah.
Dude, you can go to a bar, have a conversation with these guys and be fucking laughing your ass off. Those guys just have a podcast. You just don't know about it.
You get to listen. You can listen to them all day, every day.
Yeah. So, and that's where he still didn't kind of get it. But I'm like, he's like, so who are you recording with this week? And I go, my buddy Chris. Yeah. Well, what does he do? Well, he's a coach.
Yeah. He's like, who gives a fuck about that?
Well, why do I want to listen to a coach? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I see you don't get it. Like, it's just a conversation. I don't know, man. He just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like that who don't understand. Like, why am I gonna listen to it? But then I honestly stopped listening to Joe Rogan. You know, I stopped listening to Brendan Schaub.
Oof, I stopped listening to him a
Fighter
long
and the
time
Kid.
ago.
Yeah, I don't remember. You know, I don't even remember the last time I listened to that guy. All those Mark Maron, I still have him on my.
I never got on board on his
because he actually has pretty decent interviews.
Yeah.
Good guest. I mean, he recorded with Barack Obama. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember hearing his story about that. Like, that one's cool. And it's funny because every time he's been on a guest on like a podcast I listen to, I'm like, damn, I gotta listen to his podcast, and I never do. Because like, he's entertaining, like, and he's very like honest. Like he'll be like super straightforward.
Yeah,
like
I like it, but he's probably the only like other than sports, and actually, I mean, maybe not even because I listen to the Lockdown. Anything that's Lockdown, I listen to. Have you heard of Lockdown?
Then it sounds so familiar.
Lockdown podcast is like it's pretty much like a network. Of all
that's
like
why
so
it sounds so familiar. So
so like Boston Red Sox has a Locked On Red Sox.
I applied for that network before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I remember getting they wanted me to cover because they told me to, like, I couldn't pick what I was. They were like, we're gonna tell you what you're gonna do. So I got sent in some stuff, and they wanted me to do a sport I had no idea about.
Really?
And
pickleball.
It was
they said, I want you to talk about pickleball.
No, it was like, I think it was soccer, but like I knew that I wasn't gonna do it justice. Like, I don't know enough about soccer. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, I know like the rules. I know like Messi. I know the popular players, but for me to do a show about it, I was like, I'm not gonna do it justice. Like, if you are in search for a baseball, a basketball, or a football show, which obviously that's oversaturated, they already have enough of those. I was like, I'm your guy. Let me know.
Yeah.
I was like, if you have an athlete who wants to start a podcast and needs a co-host, you let me know. And they're like, all right, for sure. I will let you know. But I was like, I just can't do. I think it was soccer.
Yeah.
I just remember being like, it was soccer. I think it was hockey. Actually, yeah, it was hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah, it was hockey. Because I remember the clip that I sent in had hockey in it, but it was a hockey it was like a joke. We were talking about something, like, it was something funny about hockey. Mm-hmm. So I guess they thought like, I can't do hockey. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I was just watching the Utah hockey club or team, which is whack. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know why they didn't have a name. And I'm still like, I don't know the rules. Like, I don't know why that was offsides. Why was that?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I didn't know. They were like, oh, it's offsides or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And one of my friends tried to explain it, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah. I'm just watching a goal. Let me see a goal. And I can't even follow the puck.
I can watch hockey and I kind of like catch on, but I can't get into it, and I don't get invested in the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't give a fuck who wins.
I'll watch it, but yeah, exactly. Well, okay, I'll tell you this. Well, when the Kings, when they were winning their championships and they're in the playoffs, I was all about it.
Even then, I didn't even give a fuck.
I was watching it. I was cheering for them, but there was a lot of times where I was confused. Yeah, what's going on here? You know what I mean? But
there was a guy the other night when I was watching. His name was Gunther. And he kept saying like Gunther, and I was like, "Oh, that's all." Yeah, I was like Gunther, and he scored. I was like Gunther. That's it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I can't do hockey. Yeah. I don't know about it.
Well, those are the podcasts I listen to. Locked in or
Lockdown Network, the whole network.
The Lockdown.
They have a YouTube page too, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably. Yeah, actually they do. But the ones I listen to are like, okay, the Lakers, Dodgers, 49ers.
And they're not very big famous names either, huh?
No. They're like, okay, it's exactly that. Like, it's like you had maybe, like, for example, the Dodgers podcast that I listen to is these two guys that would had their own podcast. They hooked up, and then they would do like their own little thing.
It's like they licensed for Lockdown.
Now they are. Yeah. Now they, and then they're the non-official Dodgers podcast. Yeah. But through Lockdown.
That's dope.
Same thing with the 49ers. There's like an ex player and another guy from the Frisco, and they talk about the Niners.
Yeah.
You know, so
I like that whole network because they assign like specific teams or like a specific sport or like.
But they're pretty good about getting people that are into that sport or into that team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird that they.
I remember sending those clips because like I sent them a clip of just like every sport that I was talking. I was talking about baseball, basketball, football, and then I threw in the hockey thing. But it was like such a short. So maybe they're like, oh, like he was really good on football, baseball, like he didn't really get into hockey, but he threw out. I was like, damn.
They probably needed to fill in that void. Oh, we need a hockey guy.
I remember because it was like it was late at night, and I was like, I saw it was like on Google. I looked up on Indeed,
mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh, podcaster wanted for sport, and then it says, like NBA, NHL, whatever. So I was like, all right, fuck, I'm just gonna put it all.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I picked the one sport that I fucking done. I was like, you called my bluff. I was like, shit.
They got you. Yeah. Did you? So at some point, did you like look out and actually look for work in podcasting?
Yeah, I did.
I know, like us local podcasters always get asked this question: if you can do this for a living, which is a fucking no-brainer question.
Yeah.
But if you can do this for a living, get paid, and it'll supplement the income that you're making now, would you do it?
In a heartbeat.
No-brainer, right?
Yeah.
I would definitely do it.
Yeah.
But you actually looked out to see if there's
a lot. I did a lot for radio, a lot of podcast networks, a lot of YouTube networks, and I had interviews and I did them, and I thought they went well.
Yeah.
And then just they always picked the other person, whether it would be like, oh, they had more experience, or they used to, or they might have a bigger following than me.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the name of the game.
A lot of times that's what it is.
And a lot of it is like, because they have a bigger social media following. They go with them because they know it's like, we're not gonna miss with the 50,000 Instagram followers that they have.
I call it the built-in audience.
Yeah.
So you have a built-in audience already, right? If you have like a lot of comedians do have that built-in audience, it's a lot easier for them to get numbers. So when someone tells me, when I first started this, I used to get like my in-laws would ask me like, so you get paid for this? My parents would ask me, so are you getting paid for this? No, man. Because I would be like, hey, I'm not. I got a podcast tonight.
It's so crazy. My parents never asked me that.
Really?
Never.
Your parents are very supportive.
I feel like they just understood like.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I quit my job. Like all right, well you.
My parents were more of like, well, you're not going to come hang out with us because you're going to do your podcast. And I'm like, well, yeah, because this is my hobby. Yeah. But you know what? For a while though, it became a job that I wasn't getting paid for. Remember we talked about this earlier. It was I was interviewing people that I wasn't interested in doing it. It's just that people were sending me,
sending you people.
They're, hey, interview this guy, interview this person.
I give you a whole bunch of credit for that. And I can never do it.
I did it, but I kind of there's certain people that do that right now. Like we know a mutual person that tried doing that and
it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. That person's not podcasting right now, but because you forget about the reason, like why you started podcasting. You have to go back to it, and I stopped podcasting for maybe like 8 months so I can get back into the whole of why do I do this, and I don't. And then another one was I spoke to. I'm gonna give a shout out to her right now. I spoke to another podcaster, Mary Escobar. She has a podcast called Curiously. Wait, fuck. I already forgot. She hasn't podcasted in almost over a year. But it's something about her being curious. I don't know.
That's funny.
God damn, I forgot the name of it.
I want to say I might be following it. It sounds like a familiar page.
No, I've had her on a couple times.
Okay.
And but anyways, her podcast, I was invested into that one. I was one of my not daily, but it was one of the podcasts that I listened to.
Like whenever she came out,
I listened to it right away. But I remember her telling me, you don't make it like, don't feel like you're obligated to record every single time. Like do it when you want to as your hobby, but don't feel like you have to do it every week. And she didn't, and she never. I go, you don't feel like you have to. And I go, she's like, no, I don't.
Whenever you want.
It's your thing. And I'm like, hey, you're fucking right. Whenever I want to. So I'm like, all right. So now it's like whenever I want to, I'll do it. I haven't recorded in, I don't know, over a month maybe.
Yeah.
That since I posted my last episode, and I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. Maybe some other people will be like, hey, you're not doing it right. Certain people that say that you're not doing it right.
Yeah, do it like on the daily.
Some people
like
that used
weekly.
to call themselves by a video game. And they used to go, oh, you're not doing it right. But You know what I mean?
It's true. Like
hey,
no, but the more,
I'm doing it the way I want to do it.
That's what I was about to say. So like when she said that, it's true. Like this is your thing.
Yeah.
There's no set schedule.
Nope.
There's no punishment if you don't show up. It's not like you're gonna get fired from your own podcast. Like,
Right.
This is your thing.
Yeah.
You could do it once a month, once a year. Hey, this is the one time of the year that I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's all on you. Like whenever you want. So like that's why I feel like I accepted that already in my head.
Yeah.
Because before it was like, if I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be once a week. Like that's how
You want to be consistent.
Yes, and it goes back to why you're doing it.
Yeah.
If you want to build an audience, yeah, maybe you want to be more consistent.
Yeah.
Because
every day,
posting
3 times, 4 times a
Instagram,
day.
TikTok, you're on YouTube, the little reels or the shorts or YouTube shorts, and you're in that game because that's what you're doing this because you want something to pop off, go viral, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's probably why you're doing it. And there was a point where I was like, dude, I want to do this because I want it to pop off. I want it to be, but now it's like, it's there. The kickback will be there whenever I want it to be because it's mine. I'm never going to stop being friends with the guys that I've been friends with forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to be there.
Yeah.
It'll be there whenever I want it to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And
on your terms.
Yeah. And right now it's like, do I miss doing it? Yeah. But I'm still hanging out with the guys. It's not like I haven't seen them in a year. Yeah. Like we're still hanging out. We're still talking. We're still bullshitting. We're bullshitting on the fucking group chat, whatever. Yeah. So like it's always going to be there. Mm-hmm. Like the kickback will always be there. Yeah. And like it was funny when you had mentioned or when you had asked me and I was like, "Oh yeah." And then I started going on my Instagram and then I started looking at our clips and I was just like I was laughing again. I was like, "Fuck, I forgot about that." And then I started scrolling, "Oh, I forgot about that." And I'm like, it'll be there. Yeah. It'll be there whenever I want to do that cuz like those moments are just going to stay on that forever, like the footprint that you were talking about.
Yeah, the digital footprint.
So whenever I want to pick that back up, it's on me whenever I want to. And whether it be by myself or with them or whatever. It's like,
and I'm sure a lot of times it was like, it's probably safe to say that it was already there. Like the kickback was always there.
Yeah.
It's just that now
they just never had a name.
Mics and yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There was never a name and there was never mics. Yeah. Now there's just recorded, there's a name and all that. But I think the one thing that I do enjoy is like when people do reach out and they're like, "Oh man, this thing was so funny" or whatever. Like those are always like, "I'm glad you enjoyed it." Mm-hmm. Like the one I get a lot was the haircut one that I talked about going to Supercuts. The other one is like just the steam egg where we went to like a Korean barbecue spot and I couldn't understand what the fuck the lady was saying. Steam egg. Like, what? Yeah, like so like when people bring that stuff up, I'm like, that was funny. Yeah. And I want to say 3 months ago, I was at Whittier Brewery and some dude was like, "Chris." I was like, "Yo, what's up?" I didn't know who this guy was. "Kickback." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're Chris from Kickback." I was like, "I used to be." And then he's like, and he started laughing. Yeah. He's like, "Oh man, like what happened?" And then I was like, we stopped. But I was like, dude, that's so crazy. Yeah. I was like, it just made me laugh. And I even texted. I was like, dude, some dude just hit me up out of nowhere. So it's crazy just to like think like it's still cool. There. Even though we haven't done it, it's still there. Like we're at least somewhat memorable, at least a little. Yeah. Which is always cool.
You know, I've never had that. So I've been recording like just as long as you have, but I've never had anybody like, "Hey, you're Fidel from Talking Again podcast." Never
it's a crazy experience. It's happened quite a few times, and I still don't know how to handle that. Yeah. I'm just like,
I tell people, bro, hey, you look familiar, and I go, "Oh yeah, Fidel, Talking Again podcast." I go, "No, I don't know what the fuck that is." So I stopped saying that. Okay, so
that's funny.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, Fidel, Talking Again podcast," and they're like, "Nope, that's
never heard of it.
Never heard of it." Damn it! But no, I the only time was what was it? I don't actually. It was I think it was at the Rambling. when they had when you guys had your live show, remember when when you were all fucking shit sick, you were fucking
dude,
shitting out of your mouth.
Yeah. And when I got home, I was it was water both ends. Dude.
That night I got recognized.
That's fun.
Avila was like, "Hey,
he's
Talking
cool.
Again
He's
podcast."
Cool, dude. I felt so bad that I couldn't
I
enjoy that night as much as I should have.
Dude, I went in there. I forget that like people may know who you are, so like you should probably have stickers with you or something like that. Because I have a whole bunch of stickers, and I always forget. I was there just to support you guys. I even helped clean up afterwards. Like I was out there loading shit up into the trucks, because I'm like that's my nature, to do that. But I forgot, and then I saw a couple people, and then hey Fidel, what's up? And I didn't. Oh man, I wish I can give you like a sticker or nothing. I just give them a handshake, Hey, I think I even told somebody that I'll mail it to you. I never fucking mailed it, dude. Like, you can mail a sticker. Yeah. Like, I don't know. So
dude, I remember those on Instagram. Like, you want a raffle? You get a sticker.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
you remember I used to do the fucking giveaways, right?
Yeah.
The Tapmas.
That's right.
I used to do those.
Dude, see, like,
that was fun.
Those were fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, I remember. It was after that show, the live show.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Whittier Brewery. I'm standing in line, and then some dude like kind of stares at me. It totally went the wrong way. Like I thought I was about to get in a fight. I was like, oh man. He was like, you're a heavy hitter. I was like, what? And I was ready like a few beers. He's like, you're a heavy hitter. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, what's up? He's like, you're Chris, like the podcast, Heavy Hitters. Oh yeah, what's up, man? I was like, yeah, what's up, dude?
Yeah.
And then like it just flipped like real quick. I was like, I thought I was about to get down right now. I was like, fucking Whittier Brewery, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
But because the way he went about it, like it was so serious, I was like, are you trying to fight right now? Like I haven't done shit to you. Like, like so those moments are crazy, like because they're just so unexpected. Like you don't expect, you're just fucking in line at a brewery. But yeah, like that moment when he was like, "You're Chris from the Kickback," I was like, "It used to be, not anymore." Like, then I was like, gotta bring it back.
I always thought that you guys were gonna have a part 2 of those, but that never happened.
Which one?
Heavy Hitters.
We tried. Like we had talked about it, and then. Like again, they kind of like everyone was just doing their podcast, and then we were trying to figure out like, all right, we're gonna do it at my house, we're gonna do it at Jaime's house. Like, are we doing this once a week or once a month? Once what?
Yeah.
And then like it was just, I mean, that's another thing where it's like it'll be there. Like, if I tell Jaime and Jose like, hey, let's do it. Like, all right.
I could always fill in for the other guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like that'd be perfect. Like.
Instead it could be a revolving. Instead of Gil, it'll be Fid.
There you go.
If you guys are looking for 3 letters.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about Gil being not a heavy hitter anymore. I totally forgot about that. I was like, wasn't it always 3? I was like, oh, it's 4.
That's right.
It's 4. But yeah, that whole night was fun, man. But I just hate that I was sick. Like, I haven't been since that day. I have not been that sick.
Really?
I remember Jesse came to my house. Because I asked him, I was like, dude, I'm so weak, I can't grab the cooler of beers. Like, can you just please, like, I'll drive, like, just.
I don't even know why you made it. You even tried it.
And so put the beers in the car. And then I was just like, he's like, all right, I'll be in the car. I was like, all right, just give me a second. And I remember, like, right, like, in my patio, I was like, ugh, I was just, like, puked away. I remember going back inside, like, brushing my teeth. And I was like, all right, let's go. He's like, you just throw over? I was like, yeah, let's go. I went and I pulled over and got like a Gator light, a Pedialyte.
Oh yeah.
Pedialyte. I was killing that. I had like cough drops and stuff in my pocket, like all his medicine. And I was like, I remember getting there, put the stuff down. I was like, Jaime, just where can I sit? Like, where can I go? He's like, go to the back. And I literally just like this the whole time, just the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I remember
you came out for a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. Like
it felt like a little bit of a weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
You're just like this, and
someone
then
put some glasses
someone's just holding on to you, and you're just like,
And just wave.
This is Chris from the Kickback.
Yeah.
Yep, not in your head.
And I remember it was getting closer to when we were gonna start, or we were gonna come out, and I went to the restroom and I puked again. And I remember after I puked, I was like, all right, I feel better. Like, I feel good. I was like, Jaime, we got to come out right now. Yeah. I was like, if I sit back down, I'm going to feel like shit again. He's like, all right. We're almost done. Came on. As soon as I heard, like, the Kickback music, I was like, all right, like, here we go.
I'm doing this.
I'm fucking doing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have an hour, 45 minutes, like, just before I start feeling like shit again. And it paid off. I think I was like, all right, I'm going to let them have their jokes. But I was like, let me just try to jump rope in every now and then and come back out. But it was a fun experience. Like, just seeing, like, you're doing this, but, like, you look and you just see, like, people just staring at you. And I'm like, fuck, they better laugh. Dude, I'm going to fucking feel like an idiot right now. But it worked out. I think it went well. I wish I could do it again.
I did a live show once. And it was at a gas station, and they were debuting. Like a restaurant inside the gas station, like a taco.
There was a restaurant,
a taco stand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like a taco stand inside the gas station kind of thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the grill's inside, but then the guys they put the grill out there and whatever. but we did like a live show there, you know.
Yeah.
And it was for How We Talk podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I did two. I did one there and I one at a barbershop. Excuse me.
Okay.
But wasn't. Not even close to what you guys did in Heavy Hitters. You guys had, like, it was an actual show.
Yeah, we sold tickets.
You sold tickets. People were there just to see you guys. Me, I was there for the grand opening of the restaurant. So I was just kind of like someone there in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And for the barbershop, it was like a St. Patty's Day thing, but we were in the front as people were walking in to get a haircut. So it was, you know what I mean?
They're there
different.
for, yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a live event like the one you guys did. And I think you guys did great. It was really fun.
Obviously, everything could be, things could be better, but
of course.
I think for first time.
For your first time, it was really well.
Yeah. It wasn't a home run, but it's like, hey, we got a solid double here.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was good. It was really good. I mean, I don't have anything negative to say about it because it would be for me to compare it to like your first one. Mm-hmm. And you guys, that was your first one, so so that's why I wouldn't be able to compare it to anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Plus, like, none of us had done a live show before. Well, I mean, Gil had, but didn't really help us out there, like trying to figure out how to do it. But
he took off his shirt.
There it is. That's what that got a pop.
Yeah,
but yeah, like it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would definitely fucking help, jump on one of those, man, if you guys ever did one.
Yeah, I remember
put me on the list.
There it is. We'll put you on the list. And then I remember we were trying to figure out how much to make the tickets.
Yeah.
And everyone was like 25, 30. I was like, dude, I'm not paying $35 to see me, see myself.
Yeah.
I was like, just make it like $10. Yeah. Like, we're gonna get some free beer. People can drink beer. Like, we're gonna work with some breweries to promote, and then we'll get some beer, and then Louis Liquor, we're gonna do that like $10.
Yeah.
We sold out in 2-3 days, I think.
Nice.
We were close to selling out, and I was like, oh shit. And then even the venue was like, we can only have this many people, or else we're gonna charge you even more. So we're like, fuck, we can't even add more tickets.
Yeah.
Because we were already capped out all the shit we were paying.
Yeah.
So we made that whole night. We made, as of the four of us, $200.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hey, we made a profit. It was cool. That's not why we did it.
Yeah.
But I remember at the end that Jaime was like, all right, we made, I think it was $180.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck it. We'll just hold on to it or whatever. Even Jaime was like, I still have the money. Just fucking hold on to it or keep it, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
it's one of those events. I don't think you guys were doing it for the money.
Nah.
That was just.
That's what I said. I was like, just $10, dude. Yeah. $10, just to get everybody in the door and to cover.
It would be to cover whatever expenses.
It was covered to cover the
rental.
The space. Mm-hmm. I was like, as long as we could cover that, we're good.
Yeah.
And I remember having to fucking negotiate with that lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
the owner of the place.
The owner of the place.
Oh.
because she had tried to like the price was the price, and then like out of nowhere, I was like, oh, it's gonna be more, and I was like, of course. Now we gotta like negotiate and talk about it, and
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up being the spokesperson for that negotiation. And I was like, great. Now I gotta talk to this lady.
Because you're the educated one.
I
You're the one
don't
that
know.
went to school.
And then Jose immediately was like, I can't talk to her. I'm gonna start arguing with her.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you're not talking.
I believe
to
that. Hey, you know, I've never met that dude.
I know. I tell him every time. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, how have you not met Fidel?
No,
He's
never
like,
met him.
Never met him. Like,
I listen to his stuff.
that's what I tell.
I know he doesn't listen to mine, but I listen to his.
Every time I tell Jose, I'm like, dude, you and Fidel would hit it off.
Yeah.
And he's like, I bet we would, but we've never
No.
came across.
I think we're supposed to record like at yours.
Yes.
And then somehow we didn't get a chance to do that.
Something happened. I think you couldn't make it because you
Maybe.
had. I think it was something like that. You couldn't make it for a game.
Probably
or-
always with
That was when you were
sports,
doing. Yeah. So we ended up adding another person.
Yeah. I've been wanting to reach out to him, but it's just like I don't know, like I just like then it's just the timing for me.
Yeah.
You know, I had to reschedule with you twice.
Yeah. I'm super.
But-
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but like I know he's always busy, so I'm like, fuck, man. But I do want to reach out to him to see if we
You
can
guys gotta do
record
like a Rambling Alcoholics, where like you guys can just all sit there and bullshit together.
on someone else's podcast.
I mean, or you could just you two sit there,
Yeah.
or like I don't know, like how. Yeah, I feel like you two could just hit it off by yourselves, like
Yeah.
first time meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think our first time meeting should be on someone else's podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm, like. It's
Yeah.
kind of like just to break the ice.
right. Because
And
then it'd be
I
like,
guarantee you, the moment you meet him, you're gonna have a million more questions.
oh no, well yeah, probably. So I like Jose, and I respect the guy. I disagree with him a lot with a lot of
Yeah,
stuff,
that's
a
why-
lot of the stuff that he says.
But he's cool to like have a conversation with.
And that's why I like that. That's what I like. I think I'm not afraid of having that conversation with them because
Yeah,
their opinions.
exactly.
You know,
And
even
he
though
knows,
even though he makes it seem like they're facts, they're opinions.
no, but there's even times where he'll just be like, I know you think I'm fucking crazy,
Yeah.
but this is what I believe.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
yeah.
that's cool, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, you might not agree with me, but
That's
I know
what I like his confidence,
yeah,
and I like that he's that he's very secure
yeah.
about that, and I don't
And
know,
he doesn't like
he makes a very compelling argument,
yeah,
but I still go like nah, you know what I mean?
but he's the same way.
yeah.
So like you can make the argument against it,
Right,
and he'll
right.
just be like, nah.
Nah,
so
yeah.
so you're just both like,
Yeah.
all right, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But that's why I love like talking with him, because like he'll come out with some stuff that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Like I remember when he came to the house, I was drinking a Pepsi, and he's like, you know, you shouldn't be drinking Pepsi, right? I was like, why? He's like, because there's baby, the uterus or the lining. What is it called? The umbilical cord.
Oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, they put that shit in the Pepsi. I was like, in mid drink, I was like, what? I was like, oh shit. And then he went and like gave me a rabbit hole of just like information about it, and I was like, oh shit. And the way he's like, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Like
Very convincing.
I'm not gullible, but like if you say it with some like fucking gusto and like
yeah.
you get into it, and I know that you're like into this,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe it, but I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like I love how you put on your whole spiel,
Yeah.
or you laid it out for me. Like, because he won't stutter.
Yeah.
Like I remember I used to call him like one breath fucking
Yeah, I remember
because
that,
he would
yeah.
just like and just like he could rattle off and then jump into like the next thing as you were talking about one thing. Like now you're 3 conversations deep into
Yeah.
like we were just talking about
I
Pepsi.
get amazed on how much information he can retain about
It
about
boggles
certain topics like that. I'm like,
it's
God
impressive.
damn, dude,
It's impressive.
because there's certain things that I remember, but like stuff like that I just can't, man. Like I just can't.
I can't even remember what it was, but there was one time I asked him, I was like, did you ever hear about this? He's like, nah. What is it about? And he got here and he was like, whoa, yeah. Like, I forgot what it was. But I was like, finally.
So you stumped him.
I was like, finally I
finally
could
got
get to
him.
tell you a conspiracy theory I have that
Yeah.
I like. And then like he'll go and he'll look into it. He's like, I looked into it. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like,
Nice.
yeah, I like talking to him. He has his perspective on everything is interesting.
Yeah. We're talking about Jose Ramos of Ranting with Ramos.
Yeah, definitely check him out.
Yeah. So
And then he's another guy, same thing. Like he's been taking breaks in between. And I feel like we're all on that same page. Because we all kind of started around the same time.
Yeah.
And now everyone's on that, like, let's take a break. Like, I mean, Jaime is the one that's been kind of, he's taking breaks.
Yeah.
Like, he took like a month or something off one time. So I feel like everyone hits that wall.
Yeah.
Where it's just like
there are certain podcasts that I would follow and listen to because I, just trying to, help someone out, but it was more like you're tolerating the podcast. Like, I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
And the ones that I are my go-tos that I always listen to definitely are Rambling, Ranting, Kickback. Those are probably the three that No Father, No Problem. And they're down the street. They live around here.
Yeah?
They live like in Covina, West Covina.
Oh shit.
And I've always wanted to reach out to them. I don't know why I've never they're literally down the street from here, man.
You never had them on?
Never.
Yeah.
So
That's
I know,
crazy.
but I listen to them. I don't know if they listen to my podcast, but I listen to them. But I would like to maybe one day talk with them. But those are the 4 podcasts that I pretty much like on a regular. You know what I mean? Like every time something new comes out, I'll listen to that.
I used to feel bad all the time because people, like, you would say like, oh, listen to your podcast and Jose, and like they would talk, like they would mention things about the episode where I'm like, damn, you really did listen.
Yeah.
Like it was like not the first 10 minutes. It was like fucking
hour
2
Yeah.
and we were in a 3-hour podcast. And like Jaime would too, and Jose, and I don't listen to podcasts like that.
Yeah.
So like, and when I do it might be like, oh, Joe Rogan has someone that I like on. So it's not like I listen to him all the time. Or it's like I'm listening to the Pat McAfee show every day. Like that's all I'm listening to.
Yeah.
So like when people would bring them, I'm like, damn, man, like I feel bad. I'm not listening to anybody's like, and I'm like, and then I'd be like, it's not you. Like I don't listen to anybody. Like it's not like I'm singling anybody out.
Right.
I just don't listen. Like I'm just focused. Like I just listen to sports. Like that's all I do. It's like listen to like sports, like radio, sports podcast, sports this, sports that. So by the time I get to, I'm like, I don't want to listen to anything anymore. Like I'm already talked out. Yeah. Like I've already listened to people talk.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Hours and hours. Imagine people that would put out a podcast every day. Like, well, the Locked On, they do a podcast every day, a daily show. Yeah. The Locked On, it's like anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour.
That's something that I used to want to tackle. That was like the.
But all you need is 20 minutes. That's all you
need. Like when I was doing radio, I got up to 3 episodes a week. So I was doing 3 2-hour shows a week. I'd do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's the most I got up to. And that was solo. Because that was like after Joseph, he started a job somewhere, so he couldn't do it anymore. Yeah. So I was doing Monday to Wednesday, Friday by myself, 2 hours, having to do the ad reads, having to do the board and do the commercials and do all of that. And like, as much as it like was like stressful, like, oh fuck, I would look at the clock. I'm like, all right, 2 minutes to fucking commercial. Yeah. Oh, 30 seconds. All right, I gotta like wrap my point. It was fun. Like I always wanted to do a daily show where it's like 2 hours, whether it's just a podcast or radio. Like I feel like I could pull it off, but I'm trying to think like it would be a talk show or sports.
It has to be like a niche, right? Like or niche. How would you say, right?
I say niche.
Yeah. Niche. It has to be something like that, like a sports one where you're talking only sports for that 20 minutes. Yeah. Or 10 minutes, whatever it is, right? Mm. But I think that's the only way it would work. Because like a daily one where about like current events or what's going on.
Yeah, I'm going to lose interest.
It has to be you. Like you have to be the built-in audience already.
Yeah, it's like this is me. Like you're listening for me or whatever.
Your take on that, because everybody has a take on it.
On the election, or your take on what's going on.
On your take on the Dodgers beating the Padres, or how some people will say the Madres. The San Diego Madres. Yeah. But it'll be that. I think that's the only way it would work. I don't think it could be like.
Do you think you could do a sports podcast?
No. Oh no, yeah, I could.
Like I could. You've listened to
with a co-host. Because I'm not an expert at any of those. At any sport, I'm not an expert. I know a little bit enough to where I can ask you certain questions to where this is why I'm the host and I can interview because I can ask you questions that I know you're gonna geek out on and you're gonna talk about it, right?
Yeah, and that's the fun part about it. You're like, all right, here you go.
Exactly.
Here's the ball.
I set you up. Perfect point guard, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point of being an interviewer.
Yeah.
Is like, all right, I'm gonna ask you a question that I know you're gonna just like
Geek
snowball
out
on, and it's just gonna snowball into maybe another topic.
And I'll chime in here and there, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I can host a sports podcast where I'm like the main attraction on it, like the main. I'm not the colored one.
Yeah,
I'm just the host.
Yeah. You're just filling in.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember we did one. They asked us like, "Hey, do you want to do the baseball game at Cerritos?" We're like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, like commentate the baseball game. And we both,
I remember you did.
We both looked at each other and we're like, "Fuck it." And I remember my friend Joseph was like, "Okay, so who's gonna do what role?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You could do whatever you pick." He's like, "Well, I want to be like Vince Scully." Like, all right, you got it, man. You chime me in whenever you need. And it was it was not good. I remember the moment I sat down, like first pitch, I had to piss so bad.
Yeah.
So like there was moments where I'm just like, and like and he looked at me, he's like, "I can fucking hear you in the mic." And I'm like, "Oh my bad, I just gotta pee." I was like, "I can't hold it." We did one. That was it.
Yeah.
We didn't do any more after that. I wish I would have done it. It would have been fun.
I can't imagine how to do a play-by-play. Fuck, dude. I would get lost in just like
by the second
the awe
half,
of watching the game. Just like, oh my god, I'm amazed. But
by the second half of that game, like by the fifth inning or so, we were hitting a groove.
Yeah.
So like he was like calling out balls and strikes. I was chiming in like, all right, you look at this 1-2 count. You have to look at a curveball here. You have to look at a curveball away. He smacked the first at bat. He got a fastball in. You got to look at it away. Like stuff like that. Stuff that I was already realizing. Like, okay, like I played baseball my whole life. I already know what's coming. I know what you should do, what you shouldn't do.
That helps
stuff
a
like
lot.
that. Yeah, so that got easier.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I wish we could have kept doing it. I think it would have been fun. I feel like we would have had some better moments of like some back and forth, and then like us going maybe like off the cuff of like not traditional like, oh, strike one, strike. Yeah, we should. I feel like we could have done better.
Make it a little bit more personable.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like this whole podcasting thing. It's something that I think I'm gonna continue doing until I just get bored of it. But I don't know if I'll ever get bored of it.
Yeah,
especially
after
now that I have a new concept, like I do
whenever you want,
whenever I want.
So when's like, what sparks, like the next?
Well, someone might reach out, like that one. My most recent one that I recorded with Maggie, she reached out and she had a story that she wanted to tell, and I started listening to some of her stories and her reels, and I go, it's interesting. Let me check it out, and it turned out it was a good story. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember seeing the clips on Instagram. I was intrigued in those, so I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those where you're just like, whew. Yeah. You just sit there like you're kind of speechless. You're like, I don't know what I would do in that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other one, like a beauty pageant from my town of West Covina here. Beauty pageant. She's only 13. Wait, she was 13 when I first recorded with her. I think now she's 14. Maybe now she's 15. But she's a freshman in high school, and I recorded with her. But it's a 14-year-old that knows how to talk.
Yeah,
you're having a conversation with this person.
I saw your clips and I was like, dude, she sounds so smart.
Yeah,
and there's just those kids where it's like it just comes easy to them.
I'm not gonna just sit and talk with any 14-year-old. It's got to be so
Yeah, you gotta give me something.
Yeah,
you can't be like ask a question like. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just if it's interesting, you got a story to tell, or something that you're working on.
How did you get a hold of that girl, the 14-year-old?
Okay, that one was I saw her on. I'm that one guy.
She has her own page and everything, right?
Yeah, her Instagram page.
Yeah.
She has her own Instagram page. She wrote a book. Just recently wrote a book.
Yes, that's what I remember.
And but I saw her getting an award at our city like council meeting, right? You know how they do the community meetings that we have.
Where sometimes they go viral because someone like goes on the mic and like, all right, you have 60 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I watched all of them, every single one. I watch all 3 hours or 2 hours of them.
All of it, like whenever they come on, or like whenever they have a council meeting.
Yeah, it's twice a month, so every 2 weeks.
Why? Yeah.
I want to be informed with my city.
Okay.
So I want to be informed with what they're talking about, what they're doing. So when I'm voting, I know people's habits and why they're voting a certain way, or why that council member's talking about a certain thing, because you want to learn habits.
What % of people do you think do that? Like that, you're like they watch the meetings and
they get about 200 or 300 views.
How big is West Covina? Covina?
Oh, it's huge.
So that's what I'm saying. Like out of the whole city, what % is actually doing their justice
without knowing the population of West Covina, which I don't know, I wouldn't be able to tell you that number, but it's not that big.
Like 10%, 20%.
Sure, we'll say 10%.
Yeah, like so, like 1 out of every 10.
Yeah,
there's one of you who like actually watch and wants to see what's going on in their city and what might be coming up.
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
I don't like we're gonna take another break because it seems like we're getting to a different conversation that I'll get into right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break right now.
Oh yeah.
Right now we're talking about what community, the council meetings, the city council meetings. So I want to be informed. I want to know what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed as you get older, I'm sure you've already seen this, but there's politicians that will push a certain agenda.
Oh yeah,
on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever means necessary, they'll do whatever it takes. Voting, it really does start in your community. It's not like Chris Gonzalez is not gonna make that much of not one vote is gonna make a big difference on presidential candidates, right?
Yeah,
it's a part of it. It's a part of it, but it's not the one that's gonna do it.
And especially the state that you live in, it's like, dude, like even if I go the other way, it's not gonna.
Everybody knows that California is a certain state, and it ain't gonna go anywhere other than that, right? So, but in your communities where you have an impact,
and it affects you a lot more, like on your daily life.
Yes. So, I try to pay more attention to that. There's a lot that politicians will say and do that just isn't it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a politician out here, a council member, that's
I remember
our current mayor now, and it almost seems as if everything that he was going for maybe changed a little bit, or it could be that he's been on there already on that board that you just can't make that change because it's a vote, and you're always they're always against you. You can't make the change, so now you're in that group of voting yes. So you kind of swayed your vote. Because you just know it's like this battle I'm not going to win. It's an uphill battle.
Yeah, like I'm not going to win this battle. Maybe let me spend my energy on something else.
When every vote is 4 against 1, so now how can I work with them? I'm the mayor. I can make a change. I can make a difference, right? So to speak.
And you got to pick your battles. It's like,
so you have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
So politics is tough, man. So when I see when I see in my own community, like there's certain politicians that are pushing an agenda, and there's a lot of people that aren't paying attention, and they just see like all they see is the bright lights. You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
When they see the bright lights, then it really irritates me a little bit. Where you're not doing your due diligence.
Yeah,
you're not reading into it. You're not taking your notes. You're just like whatever the headline says. They're cool.
You know? Like, oh, I saw that one video and they seem like a really cool. And you think like you're basing your vote off of a 60-second reel that you saw.
Yeah.
Because he like reminds you of like, oh, that's like my tío.
Like tío. It could be a race thing. It could be
sometimes it's the last name.
Religious thing. It's
like, dude, like the last name don't mean like I get it. It's like a Hispanic last name. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna vote. Like, you can't base your vote off of like that particular thing.
Us Latinos, man, like my parents, I'm first generation over here, right? So my parents were born in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So their first language is Spanish. They're citizens, but their first language is still Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
They still watch Spanish TV. Growing up, they were still watching Telemundo and Univision, which they still do. We grew up. Oh, you're Democrat, and this is this is the agenda right here that they're pushing on Telemundo and Univision.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's all about deportation.
That's all they push, yeah.
That's all. Most of the time,
and
that's
it's
all
always
it is.
because the Republicans and
Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying Democrat or Republican. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying look at the facts. You know, like do your research, do your own research for yourself, not just because someone's telling you that they push that agenda, telling you who to vote for.
And it's hard because like with TV stuff, like they have people paying for.
It's on your phone now. It's not even on the TV.
Yeah, like you can. And there was one. Fuck, I forgot who, but they were like, if you have a chance, watch what other people in other countries are saying about our politics.
Yes.
Like then you're seeing all sides. You're seeing the Democrat side, the Republican side, and now you're just looking at a third party side looking like that's a stupid idea because of this, and this. Yeah. Or this country tried that same idea and it didn't work because of this, and this. And now you're seeing like that third bird's eye view of like you're zooming out. Mm-hmm. Instead of you being like in it, you're not seeing that different side. So I feel like when it comes to politics, when it comes to voting, like you have to, like you said, you have to do your due diligence because if you don't, then now you're just basing it off of the 60-second thing that you saw or the commercial that I support this message or whatever. Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, of course this commercial is going to make them look like the next saint. Yeah. Yeah. Or
like the term, you're just a sheep. You're just sheep. Yeah. Your follower, you know? But it's like, aren't you all? Like, honestly, aren't you all? Everybody is. Both sides. They're all sheep.
And then when you're not, they're like, you're fucking crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It was like, I'm just trying to see both sides here.
You're a lib.
Oh, yeah. A lib. Oh, God forbid you hear that. Then it's like your vote doesn't even count, dude. Like,
yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. No, it's just do your research on your own. Read the pamphlet. They send it to you when you're gonna vote.
Yeah, I just got mine in the mail. It was a big ass book. I was like, what the fuck is it? Yeah.
I know it's a lot. I mean, and I'm not. This is not a political podcast.
Yeah. This has gone full circle.
This is a political segment. It's just do your research. Do your own research. You know, don't let someone tell you to vote for her. Mm-hmm. Whoever they want you to vote for.
Yeah, I remember I used to see my mom and sister sit on the dining room table, and they'd have the booklet, and they'd go page by page, and they'd read it, and they're like, okay, that doesn't make. Let's read it again. They read it again.
Yeah,
as opposed to
ask someone that you know that also does the same thing. Hey, what would you think about this one?
Yeah, so like, they would sit there and they talk back and forth, and I'd hear them kind of debate between like, okay. And there's some they would agree on, some that they didn't. Yeah. And I was like, oh, damn, this is crazy. Like, and then now I get my booklets, and they're like, all right, you going to sit there with us? And I'm just like, all right. Yeah. I got shit to do today. I was like, fuck it. Let's go one by one. And it's a process. But, I mean, those are things that are going to impact you, like, in your day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. There's just so many people that just vote because the other person tells them that that's the way they're supposed to vote. And a lot of it is like social.
And then there's some people who vote for just a sticker.
Yeah.
I voted.
They want an Instagram thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll fucking Amazon. I'll get you a sticker. You want stickers? I'll get you one, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's coming up November 2nd. Or what is it, November
2nd, I think. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, go vote.
Yeah. I remember, I want to say like 18, 19... I didn't vote, and someone had asked me. I was like, no.
My vote don't mean anything.
Why? And I'm like, because I don't know. I'm like, I don't care. It's not going to affect me. And I'm like, and they just like made me feel so bad. And I was like, damn, I think I should have voted. Like I should. But then I was there. Then I already immediately, I was like, dude, now I might be voting for the wrong person because now I'm just voting just to vote. Like, to please some random ass person that made me feel bad.
Or whatever your pamphlet did. Because if you register, you're supposed to register for a party.
And of course, what do I register at?
Because
Democrat.
Yeah, because that's what you were told to do.
Yep.
That's what society
and I didn't even get
told
to
you.
see what's on that side of the fence.
Yeah.
They just told me this is where we're at.
Yep.
But what about this is right here.
Yeah.
But I heard
Nope.
You're
this
right
is
here.
what we're here.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But again, do your own research and vote however you want to vote, and that's it. Real simple.
I agree.
The voting thing, I remember back in the day where it was one of those things where when someone would ask you like, "Hey man, who you voting for?" Like you didn't ask that. I'm that old.
Yeah.
Where
you don't ask your woman's age.
Yeah.
And you don't ask.
You don't ask for someone's weight.
Yeah, and you don't ask who you
don't ask for who you're voting for. It's like that old joke, Dave Chappelle. Hey, easy. What's with those personal questions? I'm trying to tell you about fucking my wife in the ass, and you're over here asking me all these personal questions about who I want to vote for.
Exactly.
Same thing, man.
Now it's like out on your Instagram page.
Yeah, nah.
Along with your pronouns.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know. Hey, man, this has been fun. This is really glad that I got to talk to you for fucking 3 hours.
That's one of those, yeah.
I forgot.
I didn't come here for 30 minutes, dog.
I didn't realize. Yeah, no, same. I was already here, but I didn't realize that we recorded that long.
Yeah, when you said it was midnight, I was like, when you went to go, I was like, oh shit, it's fucking midnight.
Yeah. But that's what we do here at Talking Again Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out Chris. He might be doing something we don't know. Kickback Podcast.
Maybe, yeah. Or just look at the old clips or the old episodes. Never heard any.
They're still good. You guys, if you guys want to binge, listen to some or watch. I know you have some on YouTube. Yeah. So
it's an oldie but a goodie.
Check them out, man, because good shit. Really fun. But yeah, Chris, thank you very much again for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. Maybe we'll do this again sooner or later. You did say co-host.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have you as a co-host.
Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm always down.
All right. There you go.
I'll throw in some questions to whoever we interview.
No, I know you will. You're a good interviewer. Yeah. You're a better interviewer than I am, for sure.
I'm a little rusty, so I haven't interviewed anyone in a while.
All right, man. Well, cheers to everybody out there. Salud.
Cheers.
Until the next one, we will be back soon. See you later.